Well, gang, hide the kids and the wives immediately because the scientists are coming out and they're talking about seeing 20 different UFOs racing to the moon. And they're saying that each one of them are like approximately 40 kilometers wide, the size of Manhattan. In other words, looks like Thanos is coming before GTA 6. And if these are the UFO motherships, we got images, videos, and all that, which we're gonna get into right now. But apparently, if these are the UFO motherships, yo, let's hope we don't get the fatherships, gang. You don't have to like or subscribe, but let's actually get to the bottom of it. Pucker them cheeks up, get them Glocks out, and roll this.
Scientists are warning that massive UFOs, as many as 20, have been spotted around the moon.
Whoa.
Yeah, the moon, baby cakes. So those scientists have said they've spotted between 15 and 20 of these massive UFOs that are miles big, that are at least 20 miles big, by using some kind of heat-seeking telescope.
Between 15 and 25, and we'll actually get down to this one as well. They're saying that they can reach Earth within 20 minutes, gang. So yeah, get mama to get the strawberry milkshake ready, because looks like they're coming for breakfast here.
Type of thing. And while this is going on, while they made this announcement, the SpaceX, yeah, Elon Musk's SpaceX is gonna crash a rocket into the moon on Wednesday.
Whoa!
At the time I'm making this video, that's tomorrow.
Yeah!
So on Wednesday, August 5th, SpaceX is actually gonna crash a rocket into the moon. Ooh. And this has been scheduled for a little while.
Yeah.
And just before that happens, these scientists say that there are massive UFOs 20 miles in circumference near the moon or on the moon.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just have to find out. Whatever.
Yeah, F around and find out. Let's hope that the alien's not gonna get mad. I mean, listen, if Uncle Elon starts a war with the intergalactic, them gray alien twats out there, yo, it's not gonna be funny, man. Let's hope that it's not. Let's hope Thanos is not in that mothership, baby kicks. But yo, Pops, you gotta chill with the baby kicks line there. But on the other hand, check this.
What is going on with the moon? Today, a leftover SpaceX rocket stage slammed into the lunar surface at over 5,000 miles an hour. Just another piece of human hardware making a new crater, but that crash is the doorway to something far stranger. This week, Ukrainian astronomers at the main astronomical observatory dropped a report claiming that high-speed telescope footage from last year captured more than 20 anomalous objects near the moon.
This is like one of the images, right, you're seeing of the objects with filters on, obviously. Insane. Why do Uncle Elon need to crash a rocket on the moon?
Disc-shaped, ring-shaped, some, if truly at lunar distance, estimated at 15 to 25 miles across.
That's big.
Moving fast, flashing in patterns. The researchers say the objects show intelligent behavior and that the moon itself may be serving as a base. They claim these craft could reach Earth in 20 minutes.
Dang, that's quick.
Mainstream pushback is already loud. The paper isn't peer-reviewed. An earlier work by the same team was rejected over methodology. The giant sizes only work if the objects are at the moon's distance. Still, the timing is electric. Rocket crashes, claims of giant craft, and America quietly urging the world to stop treating the moon like a dumping ground. Keep your eyes open.
Yeah, keep your eyes open, gang. But what's insane is that, now this is legitimately the other side of the argument as well, right? Some are saying that this is just propaganda. Like, can you even trust the scientists saying that? Maybe it's just like the Three-Eye Atlas situation. Although some people still believe that the Three-Eye Atlas was something. And maybe, you never know, right? Like, we just don't know what really happened with that. We just heard that it was gonna be, as Avi Loeb said, that, well, it might send us and give us some gifts. The gifts never came, or perhaps these were the gifts. Maybe these 20 UFOs that we're seeing are the gifts, right? You never know. But here's the thing. Three-Eye Atlas came and went. It escaped our solar system. Okay, bye-bye, right? Like, okay, they escaped the Matrix, whatever, right? So some believe that that was a UFO mothership. Others believe it was just a nothing burger with no fries and a small Coke Zero. Perhaps. Or maybe it was something. Maybe it was the aliens and they saw that there was no intelligent life here. So they said, okay, maybe we'll go around downtown now. Let's find some intelligent life elsewhere. Maybe that's what happened. But now they're talking about this. That 20 giant UFOs, these are the scientists issuing warning, and they are from Ukraine, scientists at Ukraine. Main astronomical observatory reported observing more than 20. Now, mind you, this was several months ago, across the moon, several months in 2025. So this is like a couple months old story, and it's only now surfacing. So it looks like that they actually slept on for a little bit, or maybe they were just studying, analyzing it for several months, and now they decided to come out. Very, very strange timing. Let's actually keep up with this one. Check this, roll it.
Ukrainian astronomers are making a bold claim about the moon. A paper from researchers connected to Ukraine's main astronomical observatory says high-speed telescope footage captured more than 20 unidentified objects near, or apparently moving across, the lunar surface. The authors describe stationary objects flashing in repeating patterns, and larger disk or toroidal objects that appear to travel over the moon. Some are estimated to be dozens of kilometers wide, with extreme speed estimates. The paper even proposes the moon could serve as a UFO base. But that conclusion is not established fact. The size and speed estimates depend heavily on whether the objects were truly near the moon and not foreground objects, atmospheric effects, or processing artifacts. Still, the footage and methodology deserve serious independent review.
Yep. Yeah, and there have been obvious conspiracies about the fact that the moon is like, the airport for them aliens. That's where they land. That's where they land the ships. They are on the backside of the moon, on the moon's ass. That's what they say, right? And NASA is hiding the truth. We also had whistleblowers like decades ago saying that on the far side of the moon, the backside or the dark side, there are different ways of saying, but essentially the side that we don't get to see, that's where they're hidden, and that's where there are towers, structures, aliens land there. It's considered to be like an airport, whatnot. And we ended up getting like the UFO files, four batches so far. Maybe we got the fifth one by the time you're watching this video. But in the first batch, we're not talking about whether moon landing happened or not happened, guys. I know some believe it happened, others believe it never happened. We're not talking about that. But in the first batch of UFO files, we ended up getting some images, and in some of these images, we saw lights, some UFOs on the moon where astronauts were present. They did see them aliens, they did see them UFOs, them lights in the sky. Yeah, so that happened, and that was insane. Truly insane, because these have been conspiracies for decades and decades, that when the astronauts landed on the moon, they did see them UFOs, right? Warning them to never return. Now, this video is several years old, but it's similar. It is not connected, but I guess it is connected. But mind you that from this study, we only have these images. These images. But this is a video of an astronomer capturing original raw footage. And yeah, hide the vibes, because looks like Mr. Steal Your Wife, Uncle Ben, is coming home for dinner tonight. Roll this here.
Mate, when you see this, you're going to be absolutely amazed.
Yeah. So this is several years old, not connected with today's news, but it's similar. And over the years, people have recorded a lot of these kind of videos of potential...
Wait for it.
Waiting for it. Potential UFOs Look, pulling up.
Down here.
Whoa! Look at that!
1, 2, 3, 4. What?
Yeah, quite similar to today's news. Whoa! Oh shit! Dang! And they're moving though, like mosquitoes.
What? What is going on here? What is going on here?
Yeah, they hiding them aliens, bro. More digital zoom, so yeah, they're zooming in on.
Like, this part here?
Sheesh, yeah.
Mate. Mate, honestly, I'm so happy you got through the oh, look at that.
Yeah, that's with the filter. That's color corrected.
I'm so happy you got through the writing part, because this is where it gets really interesting now. Okay, really interesting.
Yeah, what is that? And we had a similar, we'll get back to this one, but we had a similar video. I'm gonna show you guys this Uncle Bigelow video as well. But I gotta show you guys this as well, where you're gonna see a clear UFO sign. It's insane. This one happened all the way back in 2020. And a massive shout out to the big homie Glenny Rizla. Yo, start losing them girls, man. Yeah. Shout out to the homie Glenny. Dark Tower with another one. So that's double points. The homie Ian and Melissa and the homie Glenny again. Thank you guys so much for all the love on the channel with the super thanks, you being around, tipping, super thanks for supporting the channel. Appreciate the love, King. Appreciate the blessings. Let's get back to the content here, baby cakes, and let me show you this one. So this happened. Now, thank you. This happened all the way back in 2020. Check this. And this is a very what's this called? Impressive video, or very convincing one at the very least. Amateur telescope footage of what appears to be 3 massive flying objects over the moon's surface, casting shadows below. Yeah. We played this video before on the channel as well. Yeah, nobody can say whether it's legit or false, but with today's news from the scientists, now although some people are believing it's propaganda, I'm talking about today's news that talks about 20 different UFO sightings, or giant Manhattan-sized UFOs from Montreal, Canada. I'm in Montreal as well. Small world, amateur telescope. Yeah, Mom got the telescope! Perhaps it was my mama that actually got the telescope all the way back in 2020 and recorded and uploaded that on the internet. The world will never know. Okay, honestly, I'm joking around. Yeah, this is an amateur that done an amazing job, though. Done an amazing job capturing these, if these are real. AI wasn't super big then, so you can say real or CGI. Now let's get back to this one.
This was 13 years ago.
13 years
ago. And all the pictures are going to start coming together like a little jigsaw in a second, mate. Right? This is incredible. Incredible.
I'll put us up there. So
it could be space.
Same footage, but different filters on.
Junk, all going at the same. Incredible. It could be space junk, all going at the same direction. It could be CGI 13 years ago, right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
This is raw footage, he's saying, like, you know? But here's another one that I found.
Uh-oh.
Right? This is Skywatchers Worldwide. Look, check this.
Hey, Houston, we got somebody out the front window with a pair of binoculars and a zoom lens. We're trying to get a pretty good idea on this thing. Every copy that.
Oh, that's right. They're far.
And then also,
that's right. They're far away. That's not gonna work.
So, do you remember on the U.S. Department of War when they released the images of random things?
Yep.
From the surface of the moon. Look at that.
Yep. That's the one I was talking about.
Look at that.
That's the one. So NASA UAP. So this is apparently from 1969. Dang. Again, man, we've had conspiracies for decades and decades, and it's like back just February of 2026, they released the first batch of the UFO files, and in that one, they released these images. Now, surely a lot of people believe we went to the moon. A lot of people believe we never went to the moon, and this is fake. Okay, yeah, right. But it's insane that this was a conspiracy and is a conspiracy, or I would say was a conspiracy for a long-ass time. And if you want to believe these files, well, they confirmed that they saw them UFOs or something strange. And the astronauts were saying that, yeah, they're seeing lights in the skies, UFOs, and some even said that, yeah, there was a presence of bogies. There was a NASA recording which we played at that time when the batch one came out of the astronaut saying he's seen like dozens, if not hundreds, of like UFOs. Not any debris, not space debris, not any junk. They were referring to them as bogies. That's like a military term for something that is unidentified, if I'm not mistaken, right? So essentially, they were calling them UFOs. That's what they were saying. So they were seeing the objects then, and yeah, even then. So.
Look at that. Look at that. Okay, I'm not going to keep on saying look at that. Right?
But look at that.
Huh?
Yeah, another one. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
It is.
And then also I found this.
Uh-oh.
Super Soldier. I don't know why he's called Super Soldier.
Ooh,
Right?
yeah. This uncle, yeah, I believe he's not, dang, I don't think he's around no more, so rest in peace. But yeah, I remember a famous interview he done, this guy, and he said that he heard about the towers on the backside of the moon and structures. He saw them structures. He thought that they were gonna report it on the news, but it never came, so he came forward and he became like a whistleblower, and I believe after that, they actually took him out.
The Super Soldier shares details of Moonbase.
We have a base there, the Lunar Command Center. The Germans put their first base there in the 40s, and we took over that base in 1991 as part of the agreement that started IDARF, the unit that I was in. Wow. Paying for the lease of the moon base required that Earth provide 25,000 soldiers.
And we got this one here.
I thought he was gonna say $25,000.
And we got this one here.
We walked over to one side of the lab, and he said, "By the way, we've discovered a base on the back side of the moon." And I said, "Whose?" "What do you mean, whose?" He said, "Yes, we've discovered a base on the back side of the moon." And at that point, I became frightened, and I was a little terrified, thinking to myself that if anybody walks in the room now, I know we're in jeopardy, we're in trouble, because he shouldn't be giving me this information. I was fascinated by it, but I also knew that he was overstepping a boundary that he shouldn't be stepping over. And then he pulled out one of these mosaics and showed this base, which had geometric shapes. There were towers, there were spherical buildings, there were very tall towers, and things that looked somewhat like radar dishes, but they were large structures. So I didn't say any more to him because I was concerned again that somebody was going to come in at any moment, would catch us having this conversation, and we would be in real trouble. I realized that he was telling me this information.
I'm carrying on a second, but mate, if this is real, everything's a lie in life, right?
Yep.
I was contemplating the other day. I was sitting back, and I was just contemplating the meaning of life, and I just was trying to think about things that we've been told which aren't real, possibilities, manifestation, and all this sort of stuff. And my mind was going crazy, thinking about what if none of what we know is real.
Yeah. I guess so. I definitely guess.
I wasn't smoking anything, right? But I was just like,
yeah, stop rolling them doobies, Uncle Ben.
Man, it's crazy.
Because he didn't have anybody else
Uncle Ben is going crazy
to talk to. So it was rare that someone would do something like this, but this fellow and I were the same rank. I think he was very distressed. He had the same pallor and demeanor as the scientists outside the room. They were just as concerned as he was, and he needed to discuss it with somebody. So that was the end of it right there. I didn't take it any further than that. I just filed it away. But the interesting thing, every day that I went home, I would think to myself, I can't wait to hear about this on the news, And, so I'd turn on the TV and I'd look at the news to see if they're going to announce, we've discovered a base on the backside of the moon.
Never happened.
Being really naive, And, of course, here it is 30-some years later, and we still haven't heard about it.
Dang.
Mate.
Is he still alive? Okay, maybe I got confused with somebody else then. I hope he's alive. I hope he's alive.
don't know.
I hope he's alive, but shout out to Uncle Ben there. Ooh, crazy stuff happening, gang. Crazy stuff happening. Let me just show you guys this then. Apparently, there's always an apparently. Apparently, they're saying in a new study that has not been not been peer reviewed, so some people are dismissing it based off of that claim. The team said they identified two categories of UFOs: atmospheric objects that appeared stationary and continental objects that appeared to move across the moon's surface.
universe. The objects has also appeared to display unusual changes in brightness and rotation. The researchers argued that those patterns could indicate structure or technological behavior, and raised the possibility that the objects originated from a hidden base on the moon. And I quote, UFOs are observed on Earth and the inner Earth space. We believe that the moon serves as a base for UFOs, the team shared in this study, and the researchers claim that the objects could reach Earth within 20 minutes and appear in the atmosphere as UAPs. They argued that the objects' apparently intelligent behavior could point to the existence of a technologically advanced civilization. We are not alone, my friends. We are not alone.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, insane story. It's crazy. Now let's actually get downtown on this one. So this is Uncle Bigelow. Roll this.
6th, I was in the Oval Office with the president. Let me read to you something I told him I wanted him to say verbatim, and I described where he should say it, not where a podium existed and a lot of media existed, but I said, I want you to, for example, deliver this statement as you are getting onto Air Force One, and you're about to go through the hatchway through the door, but you stop and talk to the media, and you might say something like, I just want you to hear something. I want to make a statement. And I would said, and this is what I want you to say, Mr. President. A non-human intelligent presence has been on Earth for a very long time, using spacecraft and with performances completely beyond our capabilities and our human physics. And that's it. To say nothing else. That's it. That's all. Because what this is disclosure, and it's actually confirmation. And the two are welded together. These are wedded together. And confirmation has not been officially made by any president that I know of, and has not. They've had different kinds of contact, conversations, and so forth. February the 6th.
Yeah, a lot of the presidents in the history did say. Let me show you this.
I don't believe in.
Let me show you this one. A lot of presidents said they were interested as soon as they become presidents, they would reveal the truth. But every time they became presidents, it's like something happened, or they hear about something gets revealed to them, and then they never talk about it. President Trump is. We're not talking politics, so whether you love him or hate him, that's your decision. That's perfectly fine. I'm not in America. But here's the thing, right? If President Trump does a reveal, oh man, he's going to be the first disclosure president. And I really hope like it happens. I really hope we get to learn the truth, or we get the disclosure. I think it's nigh. A lot of people think the disclosure is nigh. The disclosure is nigh, but how nigh, right? So far we got 4 batches. They're saying another batch is coming up. So, but are we gonna get like the full-on disclosure as in like, yeah, we're 100% not alone in the universe, and here are the images, HD images of the UFOs and images of the extraterrestrial beings? Are we gonna have something like that in our lifetime? Debatable, although the 5 years ago, 10 years ago, the chances would have been very, very low. Today, they are substantially high. So there's always a possibility. So yeah, let's see if President Trump's gonna become the first disclosure president or not. But here we're talking about the Wendigos.
So I brought myself to the forest completely alone with barely any cell service to prove they don't exist. I saw something up on the hillside watching me, so I went up to investigate, and this forest feels like I'm in a completely different dimension now. I feel like I'm not alone, so I pulled out the Aztec death whistle and started hearing weird things.
Bro. He baiting them suckers up right now.
And hear the branches breaking off in the distance, so I did the logical thing and decided to go investigate, and saw a bunch of downed trees all over, and then I thought I saw eyes watching me from the tree line. Stomach is becoming nauseated, and I feel truly like I'm not alone out here, which makes sense because Wendigos allegedly stalk their prey when they're alone. I've found weird huts in the forest before, but I came across this
music too loud, homie.
Massive one, which I've never seen before, and well, take a look for yourself. Something is not right inside here. So I figured no better time than to taunt every creature out here. Skinwalker, Skinwalker, Skinwalker. Wendigo, Wendigo, Wendigo. Ye not Alushi. You're not real. You're just a story that they tell kids to scare them. If you are real, come and get me. Otherwise, I'm proving you ain't real. And shortly after, my stomach's become extremely nauseated. There's a terrible smell, and I now know I'm
Yeah. Oh, sorry about the audio. Okay, and the video just ends there. Wow, nice. But when he talks about the Wendigo, I get reminded of that game Until Dawn. If those of you played it or perhaps watched it, yeah, amazing game though, and that was all about the Wendigos, right? So Wendigos and Skinwalkers. Are they connected? Are they like cousins and shit? Or what's the deal? Shout out to Slap Haim. Check this out. This video gets a little freaky or a little too freaky. Roll this.
On November 22nd, 2021, Apitor, a popular YouTube channel run by Tor Eckhoff, uploaded a video titled I Am Not Dead, I Am 57 Today, which has since gained over 8 million views.
Whoa!
The video featured Eckhoff celebrating his birthday in his signature style, sitting in an outdoor bathtub filled with ice with 57 written on his forehead.
Pops, chill!
As the video continued, he took shots of vodka, walked through the woods, kissed a tree, chopped wood, and even placed a plastic bag over his head.
No, that ain't good, homie. Pop, yeah, somebody gotta get their pops right now.
His tradition of making birthday videos declaring he was alive had become a recurring theme over the years.
Is he still alive? I hope so, but...
Tragically, just 5 days after uploading this video, Eckhoff passed away.
Oh, no. How?
Reports state that he fell through the ice while filming at Jakobs Dam near Kongsberg, Norway. A witness immediately alerted emergency services and divers were sent in to rescue him. But by the time they retrieved him, he had been underwater for too long. Despite doctors' best efforts, he was placed on life support, and the machines were turned off the following day, November 26, 2021.
Yeah.
His partner, Tove Skjerven, later confirmed the heartbreaking news in a Facebook post, revealing that he had gone out to skate and record one of his signature videos when the tragic accident occurred. Eckhoff, a rectal cancer survivor, was known for embracing life with humor and adventure.
Ooh,
His passing has deeply saddened his fans.
Yeah, it makes sense. So he did, I guess, beat cancer, and then he was like, yeah, let's live life. I mean, I wouldn't say go this crazy, but okay, now it makes a little bit of sense why he was being a little, like, really, or not a little, but actually really out there. Shouldn't be doing that, but yeah, rest in peace, though. Now it's too far. He's gone, so.
With many leaving heartfelt comments about how his videos brought them joy on their darkest days.
Okay, with that backstory, it makes, yeah, it makes sense. Or it doesn't make sense, but I mean, I understand.
TikTok user at ELGap has shared some spine-chilling security footage that has quickly gone viral, leaving viewers debating whether it shows a ghost, demon, or something else entirely. The video, which already has thousands of comments and shares, captures a couple quietly sitting in the middle of the street at night, unaware that something eerie is creeping up behind them.
Yeah, that gotta be Uncle Tate, Andrew Tate, trying to creep up. Do they not see it? And is it crawling? It seems like it's crawling.
A strange figure can be seen slowly moving toward them.
Oi! Oi!
Throughout the encounter, neither the couple nor anyone nearby seems aware of the presence. The security camera, equipped with night vision, appears to be the only witness to the figure's slow, deliberate approach. The footage has sparked intense debate in the comments. Some users speculate that the glowing eyes suggest something supernatural, like a ghost or cryptid.
But even she just had the glowing lights. I wouldn't say that. But...
Others believe it could be a prankster using night vision goggles. Whatever the explanation, one thing is certain, this video has everyone looking over their shoulder.
Not really, but now that you mentioned that, you got me looking over my shoulders. You got me looking over my shoulders. But what the hell?
In a post that has taken the paranormal community by storm, Facebook user Jorge Luis Cruz Molina shared an eerie encounter while conducting a Ouija board session with a twist. Instead of the usual nighttime setup with candles and dim lighting, Jorge performed the ritual in broad daylight, seated in front of a large mirror.
Rookie moves.
This is lame.
As Jorge sat at the table, the Ouija board itself appeared untouched, but the planchette in the mirror told a different story.
A Ouija board session. So, I want to see how this goes. It's day night, so I actually feel a little bit comfortable. So my goal is to try to see if I can make something happen for real, for real.
Viewers have speculated.
Thank you, Ben, for subscribing, but not that move. What the hell? But in the mirror. Ooh, nah. Guys, no. I know what you're thinking. Don't be doing that, man. Don't be messing around with the Ouija boards. Any of you actually messed around in the past? Did something happen? Put it in the comments. I remember last time when I asked, some of you guys did share your stories. But yeah, those of you that have messed around and you have, don't do it in front of the mirror. I mean, don't take this as inspiration.
Whether an entity used the reflective surface as a gateway to interact with our world, a concept often discussed in paranormal lore.
We're gonna try this, all right? So I'm gonna try to make this happen, and hopefully we make some.
The origins of the Ouija board date back to the late 19th century, a period of fascination with spiritualism, when people sought new ways to communicate with the dead. Although variations of spirit boards existed as early as ancient China and Greece, the commercially marketed Ouija board as we know it was patented in 1891. Its design was deceptively simple, a board marked with letters, numbers, and the words yes, no, and goodbye, paired with a planchette to spell out messages supposedly sent by spirits. Spiritualists embraced the Ouija board as a tool for seances, believing that spirits could guide the planchette to deliver messages from beyond. However, as its popularity grew, so did its sinister reputation. By the mid-20th century, horror stories of hauntings, possessions, and terrifying encounters began to surround the board.
I got my doubts, though, but again, I never tried it out. I mean, I do believe that we're not alone, obviously, right? We cannot be the only one here, but do I believe in the Ouija board? I don't know about that one, man. I don't know about that one, because they got it patented and all that. Perhaps it's just like part of the business, or maybe like some people actually have their own stories. If you do, put it in the comments, though.
Films like The Exorcist only fueled public fear, portraying the board as a gateway to malevolent entities rather than benign spirits. Adding a mirror to the Ouija session is not without precedent. Throughout history, mirrors have been viewed as gateways to other dimensions.
Mirror dimension and all that crap.
Scrying rituals to folklore about spirits trapped in reflective surfaces, mirrors have often been linked to the paranormal. Combining this belief with the already mysterious nature of a Ouija board creates a potent setup for supernatural encounters. In Jorge's case, viewers have debated whether the mirror amplified the board's energy or if it merely revealed what was already there.
Or CGI.
We're gonna try this, all right? So I'm gonna try to make this happen.
But actually wild if real, though, right? When you think about it.
Happen, and hopefully we make some.
Let's not do it.
And I'm told they have recently downed objects, craft, both in the US and across the border near Juarez in Mexico.
Whoa.
I am also told by White House sources that President Trump has personally authorized this operation, which perhaps explains why no full admission has yet been made to the public about the full extent of what the government really knows.
Damn, Uncle Donnie beefing with them alien baddies out there. Yeah, don't be shocked if next time they pull up with the ray guns.
There is a full-on effort underway by the administration to recover suspected non-human intelligence exotic technology in a program totally separate from the so-called legacy program. This is an attempt by the president to circumvent the legacy program. It's been run out of the White House by the president's most senior intelligence advisors. President Trump has tasked the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, to find out what these objects are and to capture them. The Office of the Director of National Intelligence, ODNI, is also involved.
Yeah,
Sources have told me that one of the directed energy weapon systems used at White Sands in an attempt to shoot down these mystery craft is what's called high pulse microwave. It It shuts down an
Mama, pull up in the microwave!
aircraft by emitting an intense burst of electromagnetic energy that travels at the speed of light, penetrates the aircraft, and fries its electronic systems.
Whoa.
My sources tell me that the craft, objects, UAPs, whatever you want to call them, are being targeted over White Sands, and they definitely show anomalous properties, conforming to the 5 observables that define UAPs. There's no visible means of propulsion, no jets, no turbines, no propellers.
This is crazy, insane claims, and this is Ross Coulthard, so some people are calling it bull squash, others are believing it. I mean, we ended up getting the batch 5, right? Batch 5 of the UFO files, and this got so out of hands that tons of news stories are talking about aliens. I mean, in the first batch they talked about, we had the FBI report. I want to show you this. So Fox News was also talking about the Galactic Federation, the TR-3B. I want to show you that next, and we also got this UFO clip too. But it's insane that, so not only that we had the Skinny Bob video, right? We heard the FBI report in the first batch saying that they saw 4-foot-tall beings coming out of the aircrafts. In UFO Files Batch 5 recently, they also talked about recovering an alien body. They called it a downed spaceman from the UFO sphere. That's what they call sphere, right? So they recovered a body. They said that, and now we're hearing reports that they're shooting down UFOs. Damn, man, this is crazy. I won't be shocked if Uncle Donnie beefing with the aliens interplanetary right now. That's crazy.
No rocket motors. They have instantaneous maneuvers, hypersonic velocities, stealth mode. What's concerning is that I'm being told the president is not getting the full story about what's being recovered. There's a concern he's being snowed with an explanation that these are just foreign adversary drones.
Whoa.
It's being considered as a possibility, I'm told, that some of these objects may be...
Damn, that's crazy, right? So you're telling Uncle Donnie, the president of the United States, not just the spy balloons, Chinese drones, and Uncle Donnie's like, yo, take it down immediately. We don't want that flying. I mean, it makes sense, right? If you're the president, whether you love him or hate him, that's up to you guys. I'm not in America, right? But whether you love him or hate him or you're neutral, yeah, any president though. If I was the president and if somebody's like out there with their flock cameras on or like drone around, I'm calling mama, pull the RPG up. Okay, bring the RPG, absolutely, right? So, but that's crazy, yo. If they are actually telling Uncle Donnie that it's just the Chinese balloons or drones, Uncle Donnie's like, yo, take him down. And it turns out that these are actually aliens, and they pissed. Hopefully they're not pissed though.
The Chinese or other foreign adversary drones doing intelligence or surveillance on what is one of America's most sensitive military test ranges. But what is being detected is without doubt far beyond any known conventional human technology. If these are Chinese spy drones, then the Chinese have cracked super advanced stealth propulsion systems with no visible means of propulsion. The fear also is that this secret operation, authorized and being run by the White House on the orders of the president, is compromised. That some of the people in the multiple agencies brought into this now massive operation are part of the covert legacy program that has been retrieving and attempting to reverse engineer NHI craft for decades. Understandably, the president wants the US to have and to know all about these exotic technologies. But is he being told the full story by those he trusts to keep him briefed? I'm told he's not. If the president intends to disclose to the public what they're discovering over at White Sands, then this is potentially a huge development for UAP disclosure.
I think we're eventually gonna have, like, shocker, right? I think eventually we're gonna have a disclosure. By the way, this seems like balloons, so yeah, we're gonna skip around here. Perhaps not, right? But yeah, no, I think disclosure is imminent, and I guess nobody would be shocked if maybe next year or this year or whenever, right? I guess Trump's likely, at this point, it's very likely that he's gonna be the disclosure president, right? I think he gonna wanna reveal it, or perhaps like just do like a light or a soft disclosure. Some would say we're already in the soft disclosure mode, and yeah, you're right. But what I mean is that a speech from the president that we're not alone, man, we recovered crafts, them aliens and all that. So I can expect that like as an announcement before he leaves office in 2028, 2029, right? So I think it's very likely we're gonna see something like that.
But what he plans to do with the information he gets and the exotic technology he recovers is not yet clear. And by the way, I'm told the object that was detected and fired at over El Paso, Texas, that started all the public hullabaloo was most definitely not a party balloon or a cartel drone. It was most definitely anomalous.
Yo, can a brother get some evidence, like some videos of them UFOs? Apparently there's this video going around as well, and this is quite insane. I want to also show you guys like this report that just came out as well. A massive shout out to the homie Jones, Miss Boogie, Catalina, and Karen for becoming channel members on the channel. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. We also got the homie Maximus, Quick Reaction, Glenny Rizla, the homie Dark Tower, and Blug for the super thanks. Appreciate the love, gang. Appreciate the blessings. You guys gotta do none of it, by the way, but those of you that choose to, thank you. It helps out the channel tremendously, man. But back to the video at hand. Shout out to Third Phase of Moon. Roll this. So somebody captured
let's get
this.
a close-up look what the heck is going on. This is the part of the video that was most interesting to me. It looks like a void in the clouds, something coming out of it, a UFO, a dark mass. Something strange is going on. We actually see some orbs coming in off this thing. Brett, what's your speculation on this? Wow, this
AI
is
probably,
wicked
right?
footage. Look at that. I'm just seeing this really for the first time with everybody.
That's the go-to explanation. It's AI. It's fake.
Like everybody here in the chat room too, and I can't describe what I'm looking at. I see a tail coming off this object, and like you say, Blake, I do see some orbs popping in and around this craft. Look at this.
Apparently it's approximately like a 2-minute long video. Yeah, there's one here. It's a 2-minute long video, and there's the guy talking apparently.
Onde vai estar e o que vai acontecer?
Yeah.
Simplesmente só muda. Ela mantém aquele padrão ali.
I think he's speaking Spanish, could be wrong, but
right there on top of it, he pans back down onto the event of some kind of possible UFO malfunctioning.
Oh, there's
the UAP. You see another orb down there to the bottom, about 9 o'clock position. What the heck is going on, guys?
Yeah, that's insane footage.
Trump just made an order that it's okay to shoot down UAPs because actually President Trump is looking for alien tech. He just gave that order. This is wild. Is this maybe an event of a shoot down?
Yeah. Yeah, if honestly, bro, if aliens actually get pissed because of it, I mean, I won't be shocked though. But dang, hopefully they're not gonna pull up with them ray guns. So I posted this over on my X as well. If you do have X or Instagram, I would love to have you there. Links are always down below. But this is insane. So this is Fox News covering it. Check this out.
June 2002, over Bagram Air Base in Afghanistan, a service member watches the stars start blinking out. Something huge passing overhead, west to east.
A 500-foot triangle appears over Bagram. Dang.
Perfect triangle, 500 feet across. Deadly silent, steady speed, not a single light on it. The guy next to him saw it too. He turned and said, "You see that?" 2011, 2 more service members, another sighting. Where it happened, the government still won't say.
So these are just renders. And this was part of the UFO files, right? It's insane that we're getting to hear about it, but they don't want to release it. The Air Force don't want to release the videos. That's what we're hearing. A pair of classified videos allegedly showing 100-foot, so they have it apparently, that's what they're saying. 100-foot black triangular UFO over a Colorado military base remained locked away despite President Trump's new order aimed at encouraging more UFO whistleblowers to come forward. Sources familiar with the footage told the Post 2 videos recorded on a service member's personal cell phone. They were recording on their cell phones on consecutive nights in 2023 are among the pieces of evidence whistleblowers say still cannot be discussed or released publicly because they remain classified by the Air Force, sources say. Yeah, no, that's insane. So they have videos. Apparently they got the videos, but they don't want to release it.
2023, now it's over an American backyard. A former defense employee on his porch when a silent triangle drops as low as 300 feet. No wings, no engine, no rumble. He said if it hadn't been a clear night, he never would have caught it. Gone in 4 seconds. Same city, same year, another witness, another black triangle. This one's pixelated, kind of distorted with a red light burning in each 3 of the corners. Whatever these are, they keep showing up where they absolutely shouldn't.
And also, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So when the video looks like this, you know, where we just don't even know what we're looking at. Yeah, it's an object that is flying around, whatever, right? They release it. But when it's about them actually capturing it, perhaps with that good-ass 2023 cell phone, personal cell phone, they're like, we cannot release it. Yeah, these suckers out there doing helicopters with their willies, man, for far too long. It is time that the government pulls their pants down and show us the good stuff. Pulls on that one, but you know what I mean, right? It is time that we demand answers, gang. We absolutely demand answers. Ain't no dang diddly way that they have been hiding this much for that long. Yeah, when it's like footage like that, it's fine.
Of something operating in the airspace over restricted nuclear facilities, and it's not ours, and we don't know whose it is.
This tranche of evidence released today, it notably includes numerous reports of large triangular-shaped UAP over sensitive military sites, witnessed by...
This is something they released in the recent batch, and again, though, it's some bull squash, man. Yeah, we clearly see something is moving, but we still don't clearly see what it is. Exactly, right? So when the footage is ambiguous like that, when we don't see shite in it, they're like, yeah, let's release that. That's what the public wants. Nah, man, that's some bull squash, bro.
By credible military witnesses, people who we trust with a lot of power. These reports come from...
This one was probably by far the best one out of it.
The FBI, and these reports come from the FBI, and also in the tranche is a number of reports of orbs encountering our fighter jets and performing in ways that no known aircraft can.
And that's the clip. So yeah, the needle is definitely moving. I want to also show you guys this. This is crazy. This is actually happening. So if you believe in UFOs or aliens or not, that's cool, right? But this one is actually happening right now. Check this out, roll it.
At that face. A 7-foot-tall robot with a goat head and glowing eyes. Oh, and it can also carry a chainsaw. I'm sure nothing feels weird or demonic about this whatsoever. A company called CERN is building a robot called 3 Halves, and they're saying it's designed to keep people out of harm's way by
giving it a chainsaw. Okay.
Places that are too dangerous for humans. Things to places that people out of harm's way. By going into places that are too dangerous for humans. Things like wildfires and collapsing buildings. Now just imagine being stuck in a wildfire and this thing shows up and says, I'm here to save you. Because why does it need a goat head and horns? Well, people were asking the same question and the company responded with this. They said the horns have wide-angle cameras in them which allow us to see the positions of the legs and arms. But that still doesn't explain why it needs to look like that. Also,
yeah, if I see this with a chainsaw, I'm just gonna assume like I'm done for.
Because of the size of the horns, the robot can't fit through standard American-sized doorways. Also, 3 Halves doesn't have any hands. It has a quick disconnect wrist system. It can swap out tools like a chainsaw or a drill. And I took this screenshot from their own website, and it literally says, this robot is more dangerous than it looks. But don't worry, because if you were ever in a situation where you need to stop it, they show you its weak points in case you need to do so. Now, why would this company put out a manual on how to stop it? At some point, you have to stop asking whether they could have designed it differently and start asking why they didn't. They expect people to trust AI and robots. Yeah. Then they build a 7-foot-tall goat-headed machine with a chainsaw.
7 foot tall, so they know, right? Even if we want to call the Undertaker, like even the Undertaker won't be able to do some, right? Because they made sure this is 7 feet tall. Yeah, even the Undertaker is gonna have a hard time dropping a tombstone pile driver on his ass. But not crazy times, gang. Crazy times. This is also a little interesting, all right? Ancient paintings reveals something shocking. Roll this.
Did you guys know that not too long ago they discovered a painting behind an ancient painting in Italy? And what is shocking about this whole situation is not just there's another painting, like, you know, paintings are all over the place, but the painting is of a guy on a horse slaying a dragon. So this is a painting. You got a blue sky, you got a guy on a horse with a spear, and this crazy dragon-looking thing with bones all around it. But here's the question you need to be asking yourself. Why is it not like a real animal that they drew? Why did they draw this fictional thing that's a total myth and that's not real at all? Why does the Chinese calendar have a dragon on it with a bunch of other real animals, one mythical fake one that's not existent?
You got monkey underneath there. This one is, okay, turkey? No, not turkey. Dragon, snake, horse, goat, rabbit, tiger, ox, rat, pig, dog. All right, this one, what about
real animals, one
rooster, okay.
Mythical fake one that's not existent, but they don't have a panda? This is actually two things in one. Ancient Chinese images, they've drawn everything, but they never drew a panda up until the early, 19th century something, which is shocking. Why wouldn't the panda be on here, but a fake dragon is? Now, you may be thinking, like, maybe they thought, like, it was dinosaurs and they wrote dragon instead. Well, actually, the theory is, what if they weren't dinosaurs, but they were actually dragons? And then, of course, that leads us to the question, if there were dragons, where did they all go? If they existed amongst us, it's like that should be pretty well recorded. So did the history get erased and they got rid of all the dragons?
Yeah.
Or did they fly away past the ice wall or something? Like, these are questions you got to be wondering. Apparently, Marco Polo wrote, hold on. Marco Polo claimed that the Chinese emperor kept massive quote-unquote dragons in a province called Karazhan, which is modern-day Yunnan. According to his account, these creatures were raised by special families and used to pull large royal chariots in ceremonial parades. And what does a Chinese parade have today? Dragons, dude. Chinese New Year, it's all about dragons.
Yeah, no, it's fascinating, right? Because just like how the older paintings that are thousands of years old had flying objects in them, back when AI didn't exist, back when cameras didn't exist, back then CGI, believe it or not, back when CGI didn't exist and people didn't necessarily have the need to lie to get internet points. Yeah, we're talking about that timeline. So yeah, there are tons of paintings with flying objects in them, paintings with like these creatures like the dragons. So was it just imagination, or was it something that they were seeing and witnessing, and therefore they were like, okay, let's make paintings about it and keep a historical record. Yeah, no, it's food for thought, obviously, right? On the other hand, you got this one as well. Let me show you. Yeah, that data centers, gang, the data centers. Yeah, check this out. Roll it.
Different than many locations across the world is just being swamped and surrounded by data centers.
Yeah, so this is like the heat map, right? So Asia and Oceania, even China don't have, dang. So America #1 in this one, right? In terms of data centers. So far, 5,000 plus data centers in the USA. China got 450. The rest of the world got 1,500. Canada got 336. So we ain't far behind. No, we far behind. Mexico even got 170. France, Ukraine. Oh, dang. Even Ukraine got 58. Russia got 251. Yeah, no, everybody's on it, gang. The world has 11,800 data centers. Oh, shit. It's over. It's cooked.
Centers, especially the United States. But like I said, there's something very unique about Texas, because not only are they getting this massive building to power robots, robotics, or perhaps something else altogether, we don't know, but they're also getting a portal. And when fully realized, it will be the largest, most powerful portal in history, which just happens to be called Stargate, which is just another name for portal. No other single technology project matches its planned $500 billion budget. This portal project is said to be so powerful that it could power roughly 20 million top-tier NVIDIA GPUs, matching the entire world's AI compute capacity from just a year ago. And it is just getting more and more powerful as time progresses, and it is said to be rolling out anywhere between 2029 and 2030. Sam Altman's OpenAI will be a part of the Stargate project, and I always go back to what that...
And these things got like bunkers ready. I made a video, it's not up yet on the channel. I'll probably make it public soon. But I actually, we covered this topic in that video, right? So yeah, wait for that video. But these things got bunkers ready. And that's the plan B, right? If something goes wrong with the AI and the data centers and the robots, they got the bunkers ready. It's quite insane, man. That this is why they're making like these bunkers. At first I thought it was about, at first everybody was thinking that it's because of like the nuclear stuff, and probably, right? I mean, that's also one of those reasons why these suckers would also make those bunkers up. But the primary reason is also with to do with AI. If shits go downtown, Chinatown, they are like, let's go underground.
OpenAI executive said. He was quoted as saying, "The truth of this is we're building portals from which we are genuinely summoning aliens, and that these portals currently exist in the United States and China." He continues saying, "I think it's just like wildly important to get how scary that should be. It's the most reckless thing."
Expanded into the UAE, the company plans to build a data center campus in Abu Dhabi, which is 7 times larger than Central Park. Whoa! Central Park of New York City? Is that what you're talking about? 7 times bigger than that? And consumes roughly as much electrical power as the city of Miami. The truth of this is we're building portals from which we're genuinely summoning aliens. This kind of brings me back to the time when Dr. Astrid Stuckelberger was talking about a CERN, right? That they actually opened the portal. They opened the portal, and there was an entity that actually came out. Yeah, we covered that, right? Whether she was being truthful or not, that's up for debate because we don't have any evidence. But CERN is supposedly shut down, right? Till 2029, 2030s. So yeah, 2030s, right? That's what we're hearing. It looks like that shit's going down, gang, in 2030. Yeah, man, these are insane times.
Thing that has been done. People don't realize just how much China and the United States work hand in hand with one another. We're just all led to believe that they're enemies on the TV box anyway, but they all work very similar. And
divide and conquer, gang. Divide and conquer. Let the public be divided and let the public beef with one another while we make the money. Yeah, that's what the elites, billionaires, and politicians do.
If you take a look and see what's happening over China, their citizens have it very bad when it comes to surveillance and a complete AI nanny state. And if you take a look at what's happening here in the United States is without a doubt following that path.
The flock cameras, yeah, can't even shank the ball in peace anymore.
This is a flock camera, but it's not a license plate reader. Pay very close attention to the shape of this camera. I'm going to zoom in here. All right, you see it?
These are
I'm going to go to Flock's actual webpage, and this is where they describe the different cameras that they have. The one on this pole is actually a Condor camera.
This is one of those cameras that I actually have something like that, all right? I have seen in real life. It's just like outside of a pharmacy. I'm in Canada, by the way. So they are saying we don't have flock cameras in Canada, right? We don't have it. But we probably have something similar here too, right? Eventually, gang, this is what I said before. I'll say it again, bro. It's coming for all of us, right? For America, I guess they're going to call it flak, okay? Here, they're probably going to call it something different. It's coming for all of us. Don't worry. It's coming for all of us. So the point that I'm trying to make here is that because I always see people kind of like beef over their country. Yo, my country's the best. Your country's the worst. People always do that, and I get it. Like, yeah, like you love the country, you love your country. I get that. I absolutely get that. But the point that I'm trying to make here is that divided, they're able to conquer us all. United, they can't. Simple as that, right? Simple as that. But it's coming for all of us. Make no mistakes. So yeah, we in this together, gang. We got a tag team, and yep. We gotta drop a tombstone pile driver. Where's the Undertaker? We need the Undertaker right now.
This camera is not used to detect license plate. This is to detect humans. And here you go. The Flock Condor camera is used for AI human detection. The built-in software automatically requires and tracks pedestrian movement across the scene. It can pan, zoom in, and follow human movement. So this is not about license plate reading, and this is why it is not anywhere near a car. It's just in a golf course. So this is way beyond what we were told they were going to be. This
in the golf course to actually record the balls. Hey, yo, pause.
This is for human tracking. This is a mass surveillance network just like China has.
Yes, just like China has. China has portals, the United States has portals. So we have the world's biggest building and the world's most powerful AI, and let's not forget this very strange clock that lurks below, and also the world's most powerful particle accelerator, many more times powerful than CERN, yet it has not been completed, all taking place in Texas. Dang. But what else could be lurking?
Yeah, Texas is gonna be a hot spot, man. Any of you watching from Texas, let me know. Oh shit. Yeah, let's, okay. No, there's more.
Beneath the state that certain individuals all taking place in Texas. But what else could be lurking beneath this state that certain individuals may have found? Back in 1852, farmers digging a well struck a wall of stone blocks that they said looked like a buried fortress. This video clip here by Shane Vibes I played on my other channel yesterday, Seconds of Horror, but it really does fit here as well.
Okay, hold on a second. I just found out there's a place in Texas called Rockwall,
And it's a funny thing how this place got its name, and I can't believe this isn't being discussed more, but then also I can imagine because they don't want really this sort of thing getting out, I presume. They call it rock wall because there is a giant rock wall underground surrounding the entire place. And it's said officially that this just looks like a wall, but really it's a natural formation. This guy, called Giants of Ancient America, says were portions of this prehistoric wall in Rockwall, Texas, the work of giants in ancient America. I mean, this thing is huge, and it's said to be quite deep. The official reports, who knows, but it's pretty deep. And they found strange, like, iron tools. I'm not saying this hammer thing, someone put that there. The thing above it is all rusty. Anyway, what do you think? And this isn't even mentioning some of the many different articles back in the day of interesting things they found when they're digging for houses, including giant bones. But of course, officially, they're all fake.
Back in the 1800s, researchers kept finding more and more bizarre things that rumors started to spread of a secret underground city with arches and mortar-like scene. And of course, like with everything else, geologists later came out and explained that this formation, part of the Rockwell Formation, was all entirely natural. They said that certain types of limestone naturally fracture into geometric right angles as they harden and erode over millions of years. And I guess, right, I'm not a geologist, but this just adds more to the mystery of the state. But if, let's just say theoretically that's not the case, this is not something natural, and we're talking about giants, then one could easily connect the dots back to the Nephilim, fallen ones, and fallen technology, which kind of makes a lot of sense given the fact of everything we're seeing taking place in Texas, and also what's written on the Illuminati card game. Something is hidden below, and they do not want the public to find out. But
dang. Yeah, these are dark times, Harry. These are dark times. These are dark times. I mean, shit's definitely going downtown right now. Yeah, check this out. Roll this. Shout out to Mr. Man for this clip.
Matty Boy 808 was visiting the Paris catacombs when he decided to photograph several pitch-black tunnels that were closed off to the public. Later, while reviewing the images, one photo immediately stood out. A woman dressed in white appeared to be standing at the end of one gated tunnel. Some commenters suggested it might have been a statue, and the poster admitted he couldn't rule that out.
Ooh,
however, he said he didn't see anything there.
I mean, listen, man, if they actually put statues down there, bro, like, people gonna freak out, bro. Are you even allowed to go there? Yeah, right, I heard that you, or no, I don't know, okay. I never been to Paris. I never been to Paris. Are you actually allowed to go down there or not? Yeah, I mean, if you're allowed to go there and you see this, oh man, you're gonna freak out. Even if you're not allowed to go there, people are gonna sneak in, right? I guess that's what's happening here. And you see this, ooh, this is gonna be a heart attack, or yeah, this is gonna give people the heart attack.
When the flash was off, explaining that he was looking at his phone screen at the time and only noticed the figure later. Others questioned whether the photo had been edited, but the poster showed a screen recording of the original image.
I will click the details button, and there you can see the timestamp, July 16th, 12:37 p.m. You can see the dimensions and my phone model, etc., etc. And I'll just scroll sideways through those images. So 12:37, 12:08 p.m., and I believe it's the next image. Never mind, I took two pictures of that. And then 12:07 p.m. and that's the image right there. You can see Galaxy S25 Edge, the 16th, 12:07. Says flash used because, like I said in my post, I did use my flash down the gated off tunnel. And even though this version isn't brightened, I didn't brighten this one like in my original post, which I brightened a little instead.
Man, back in the days, you took a photo, you posted, and everybody would believe it. You didn't have to prove shit, bro. Now, because of AI, even though he's providing, I mean, that's good that he's providing this, right? But listen, it's still not convincing. Thanks to AI,
Snapseed, but if I pull it down like this and, zoom in, you can still see
whoa,
pretty clearly whatever it is we're looking at in this image.
After some commenters brightened the photo, the figure became even clearer. And to me, it looks more like a person than a statue. A man was walking through the forest when he suddenly noticed something strange moving between the trees. He quickly hid behind a tree and pulled out his camera.
Yep.
In the footage, a large upright figure can be seen walking through the woods.
This is the type of footage you're getting cool, huh, man? So it's like the video of a Sasquatch, big twat, right? Big chungus, Bigfoot.
According to the witness, the figure stood roughly 7 feet tall and closely matched
I don't even see a single feet, bro. You talking about a 7 foot tall, bro? What the hell?
descriptions that have long been associated with Bigfoot.
Yeah, it's kind of like here.
Fortunately, whatever he saw kept its distance.
Yeah,
And the
this
man
one.
made it out of the forest safely.
Okay, thank God he made it out safely. And apparently, Uncle Tucker, he went apeshit. He says that U.S. government is in contact with supernatural beings and says the details are so disturbing, he hasn't even shared them with his wife. He hit his wife, gang. Check this out.
The second thing that bothers me is the UFO story. And, you know, the more you dig into that and talk to people with actual knowledge of it, again, that's another story where there are some, you know, fanciful ideas floating around that are just, you know, there's no evidence that they're true. But if you talk to people who, you know, have actual knowledge of it that they gathered themselves, there are parts of that story that I do not understand at all that are really, really, really dark. It's so dark that I, you know, haven't told my wife about it. I mean, I haven't verified any of this, but this is not just stuff that I read on the internet. I know you all are very, very grounded in that story, so I think I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. But we don't know. Can a brother perhaps know? Please.
But there's some stuff there that's just like, man, I'm not even sure what that means. There's a spiritual component there that I don't fully understand. So yes, that story bothers me. And I think, last thing I'll say, that one of the reasons that we've had all these disclosures and all of these, 10 whistleblowers at this point, and it hasn't really become front page news. Part of it's suppression. You know, parts of the government don't want you to know about it, but part of it is the public can't deal with it. It's too far out. The implications are too profound. And so...
Yeah, but you cannot handle the truth. This is what they always say, you cannot handle the truth. But today in the files, they add a little bit of, they recovered a dead spaceman. And even in the first UFO files, they talked about, the FBI report said that they saw 4 foot tall beings coming out of these UFOs and all that. So in other words, they're not openly calling them aliens, but they're saying like beings come out of the UFOs, and here they call it like a dead spaceman. So the alien that was, in other words, alien that is dead, and they recovered it. So we'll get back to it, but
and I understand that, because I've heard things where I'm just like, oh man, I don't even really want to know that, honestly.
Deeply disturbing stuff. You know, forget like saucers
You know what I mean?
and technology. It's deeply disturbing stuff that I haven't even told Natalie. I agree with you. It's so disturbing. I can't even tell my kids. My kids ask me different stories about it, and I won't say it because it's so dark. It's so dark.
I totally agree.
Miles is watching. So.
Okay, Miles, if you're watching the show, Daddy's not going to tell you about that part of the UFO stuff and what's going on with the government.
Well, can I say one thing?
we want to know the truth. We demand answers. Come on.
They've known clearly. I mean, this is, I think, established, and I feel comfortable saying this as fact. The U.S. government, I mean, these are real, whatever they are. They're not human. And the government has known that for a long time, possibly going back to the 1930s at least. And of course, there's tons of evidence in the written record, in the physical record, in paintings, and in literature, that people have been seeing and interacting with these things for a long time. So we know that. But the justification one often hears is, well, the government, various presidents who have been read in, not all have been, haven't wanted to disclose this because it would scare people. And I've always thought that's bullshit. You know, you're hiding a crime, which they are, by the way, in my opinion. But I do think there's a sense in which that's not totally crazy. Like, there is some stuff, if it's true, and I'm kind of thinking it may be true, that's so radical that, yeah, well, as we both said, we don't want to tell the people we love most about it because, like, why would you disturb someone like that? So I kind of get that. I hate to admit it. I'm not arguing for hiding things. I believe in the truth and I believe in disclosure, but I understand the impulse. Like, holy smokes, this is heavy. You know what I mean?
And the government's involvement in it makes it even heavier because then you realize the complicity.
Exactly.
Of it. Yeah.
That's what Uncle Tucker is saying. Like, what are they talking about? And now, here's the thing. You guys know Amy Eskridge, right? She's no longer with us. And she openly talked about, yo, they are us from the future. Oh, shit. Now, I personally don't believe in that. I believe that we're likely not alone, and you can disagree and agree. Feel free to put it in the comments. Everybody got their own take, and everybody got their own opinions, which is perfectly fine. I welcome every opinion down below. But that's the thing. So I'm talking about Amy Eskridge, right? She claimed P47, P52. Basically, gray aliens are us from the future. P52 means 52,000 years advanced from the future. P47, 47,000 years in the future. I have a hard time computing that. I have a hard time believe that. Now, I do believe in the aliens. Gray aliens likely are real, whatnot. Maybe not, but I tend to believe that God likely hasn't just made us. He probably have created other stuff, other creatures too. Like if the universe got trillions of galaxies, billions of planets within each galaxy, mathematically speaking, we're just not alone. And there are tons of religions that also talk about other creations of God as well. So yeah, it depends on your faith, your belief, and depending on that, yeah, feel free to share your takes below. I'm curious to know what you think. But what is Ankh talking about here? Why is it so bad? Like they're making it sound like that, yo, it's earth shattering, is so bad he cannot even tell his wife about it, and in fact he has not. Now if you take Amy Eskridge accounts, okay, sounds kind of deep, but okay, I don't know, maybe are those we also have this angle to it that they are the ones that actually created us, not God. I tend to believe in God, so I believe that God made us, but okay, if they made us, then who made them? Aha! Gotcha right there. So maybe somebody else made them and then God made them and they made us, or whatever, okay? There's a whole lot of conspiracy theories and these are endless, fascinating, thought-provoking. Absolutely. Do I believe in that? Absolutely not. But obviously I do believe that we're not alone. On the other hand, this one was recorded in South Korea. Check this. So this little twat out there with the parking brakes on caught in South Korea. And apparently AI says he don't know whether it's AI or not. Bruh. Yeah. So even AI is having a hard time detect whether this video is AI or not. This is how bad it has gotten. But the reason people are believing it is because you can see the camera movements, right? Seems legit. He or she zooms in, zooms out, and it's very, yeah, pay attention here. So you can see the contrast, the brightness, it's a lot more bright. But the second the person would zoom in, it gets dark. My phone actually does the same thing when I use my S25, like it does the same thing. And you can try with your phone, maybe your phone does the same thing. So people are believing this is the real deal, but what was it? Sadly, unfortunately, it's 20 seconds long, so that makes some people believe it's AI. So keep that in mind. On the other hand, let's actually talk about this one right here. So this, yeah, this is a little wild. So we're once again getting back to JFK. Kennedy, roll this.
In 1961, 1962, requested observation of the alien bodies recovered in some of these events, crash retrieval cases. His request was granted, and as I've written in Need to Know, he was taken on Air Force One to Tyndall Air Force Base in Florida, and he viewed the bodies.
Whoa!
I don't know much more than that, except it was a top secret mission, and it was headed by General Godfrey T. McHugh. President Kennedy.
Now, the 1963 is very important because that's what, like, the files talk about that came out today. And don't worry, we're gonna actually take a look at the videos that were released as well, which is really a nothing burger. A lot of people are hella disappointed. Let's actually talk about these, and then we'll talk about this, like, UFO crash and alien bodies. I'll just simmer this down within a minute, right? So you got 4 big UFO videos. You can see one of this twat out here moving around. People saying that it probably is like a teenager alien pilot that just learned how to fly a UFO. Yeah, some people are calling it that because he flip-flopping. He don't know where to go, right? He's just learning to fly. Probably just got the pilot license, the UFO pilot permit. Yeah, perhaps that's what's up, but you cannot see a damn thing. And this gotten so bad that a lot of people are hella disappointed with it. I mean, one thing is for sure that yes, we're getting new UFO files. We're getting these videos, so it's interesting in that way that it's coming straight from the government, and this is the second video. Yeah, that's the only part that's interesting, right? This one is coming from the government. Now, surely a lot of people don't have trust in the government, so there's that aspect to it as well. But the files are basically like a nothing burger with no fries and a small Coke Zero at best. People saying that it's dry like a fart in the middle of a prayer at a funeral, and it's sad. Some people saying that, which is just wild. Other people calling it straight up garbage. And this is the batch number 5. Now, I obviously have said this in the past that if, let's just say, at the end, if we get to see the alien baddies, we see like the images, the videos, the interviews. This is another one of those videos. If we get to see like a full-on disclosure at the end, nobody would care about how it started. Everybody will be like, oh crap, it's going down, right? If at the end we get a real, true, honest disclosure, which is hard to believe with the government, but you know what I mean, right? So this is another one of those videos. And lastly, this is by far the best video from these files. I'm not saying the best video, I'm saying the best video from this file, this batch that got released earlier. All right, and you see probably the most clearer video here. Yeah, let me just zoom out here. Yeah, probably the most clearer video, although this is obviously night vision, whatnot, right? So what you gonna do about it? So yeah, these are the files. Now let's actually get downtown Chinatown and let's talk about this one, right? This is probably the most insane part, right? 1963, just in, declassified UFO files revealed that the US investigated claims of a dead spaceman found inside a mysterious sphere that crashed in Brazil in 1963. Now JFK was also, mind you, he was taken out on November 22nd, 1963, and apparently it is being claimed that this UFO was crashed in Brazil, in the Brazilian state of Bahia, hopefully I'm not butchering it, on November the 8th, 1963. So very close to JFK's assassination, and people that do believe that JFK was taken out because of UFO disclosure might actually link this story with that. I'm already seeing some people link it with it. Reports claim the sphere had glass-covered windows and contained a human body dressed in heavy clothing. They're saying human body, but it's not human body, right? Dressed in heavy clothing. Real aliens don't wear no pants, remember that, unless you're Skinny Bob. In heavy clothing marked with inscriptions nobody could decipher. The astonishing account sparked inquiries by American officials who asked diplomats in Brazil to determine whether something inexplicable had fallen from the sky. And NASA was apparently involved, and for 6 days officials pursued it. Conflicting reports involving a possible spacecraft, a dead crewman, so here they call it a dead crewman, and a suspected weather balloon. So it's all over the place. And what it sounds to me like that they are releasing like little tidbits, right? In the batch one, they also talked about FBI, and they dropped an FBI report that said that there was a 4-foot tall being coming out of the UFO, not saying aliens, but indirectly confirming aliens essentially. And this is kind of like that too, but they kind of flip-flop, right? They say that they recovered a UFO apparently, right? Crash sphere, and inside there was a dead spaceman that apparently was wearing some sort of clothes not from here, that they didn't know what they were, and then they say that could have been a balloon, this, that, the other. And here is the summarized version. Declassified UFO files reveal that U.S. authorities investigated claims of a dead spaceman found inside a mysterious sphere that allegedly crashed in Brazil in 1963. Follow-up checks found no evidence to support the story, and the incident was ultimately deemed a fabrication. Still, the claim was taken seriously enough to warrant an official investigation. So what did they already know that made this one worth checking? And it's apparently found in the files that they released. So if it's a nothing burger with no fries and a small Coke Zero, why would you put it in the files today? You know, it's kind of interesting because if you know that it's a, let's just say, a nothing burger, a weather balloon, why would you put it in the files today? We're talking about official UFO files, right? Why would you put it that? This should have been just speculation, but apparently they are keeping the what was this called? The discussion going, but I guess they're letting people believe what they want to believe, and they're like, yeah, F that shit, bro. We out. We ain't dropping no EP files no more. This is what you're gonna get, because obviously some people do believe that this is a cover-up because of the EP files. But check this.
How did J-Rod get here? I mean, how did he, 15 light years away?
He crashed in '63, from what I understand.
J-Rod.
Was that right?
Outside of Kingman.
Okay.
Kingman, Arizona.
Right.
There was a problem involving his physiology and his biophysiological communication with the craft went wrong. And of course, he's ill, as we know, with the MGUS and the paraprotein associated problems.
In 19...
My bad.
I have no independent verification of where the associate went, though. All I can say is that he was there at Site 4.
Site 4, S4, Area 51, where apparently also Uncle Badlitzer also worked. He also worked there. So 1963 is very important because that's the same year JFK was taken out, right? Yeah.
In 1963, in the summer of 1963.
You say it's a 90-year cover.
The Vatican, a 1933 UFO crash, and this is David Grush.
Just about, yeah.
90 years.
1933 was the first recovery in Europe, in Magenta, Italy. They recovered a partially intact vehicle.
It's long been known that the regime of dictator Benito Mussolini documented numerous UAP during this time.
Dang.
This internal memo from the Italian secret services includes crude drawings of the UAPs.
It's true. It's real. Yeah, that actually happened. The Italian government moved it to a secure airbase in Italy for the rest of kind of the fascist regime until...
Hopefully they did get to taste the Italian pizza, though I heard it's the best in the world.
1944, 1945, and the Pope Pius XII back-channeled that.
So the Vatican was involved?
Yeah, and told the Americans what the Italians had, and we ended up scooping it.
So let me be very clear about this. You're saying that the Catholic Church, the Vatican, they know about the existence. You say it's a 90...
And also, yeah, going back to what Uncle Tucker said, right? It's so, like, crazy. I haven't even told my wife about it. I'm not even going to tell my wife about it, right? That's what Uncle Tuck said. Even the Redacted brother also, I'm forgetting his name. but the homie over on Redacted, right? Even he said the same, like, I'm not letting Natalie know about it, right? Yeah, so, yeah, what do they know that we don't? Why are they not talking or telling them about it? There's also another component, right, of that these aliens are the ones that created religion. There's, not my opinion, that's another one of the conspiracy theories, and I'm not saying that's true. That's like another angle to the story. So is it because of that they're not telling us about? Yeah, like, just some food for thought, right? But on the other hand, let me also show you guys this. So this one, right? So this is Uncle Elon, and a massive shout out really quickly before I forget to Vegeta, the homie Pedzer, Tori, Jim, and Melanie for becoming channel members on the channel. Thank you guys so much for all the love, man, for supporting the channel the way you do, man. Appreciate the love, gang. Appreciate the blessings. All right, let's get back to the content here, baby cakes. Now, thank you. It genuinely helps the channel out a ton, guys. Thank you. All right, let's check this.
Eventually, something will happen to us, hopefully not soon, but either natural or man-made, that would cause the end of civilization. So the probable lifespan of civilization is much greater if we are a multi-planet species, and ultimately even go beyond our solar system. Eventually...
Okay, eventually, when is that eventually? Now, Elon also have been saying that, like, yo, by 1936, we would not need cash. Don't know about that one. So there are a whole lot of claims being made, right? And obviously the billionaires, you probably know this. That's another conspiracy, right? That they have been working on. In fact, not even working on, they already worked on making the bunkers. They got the bunkers ready, gang. They got the bunkers ready. So it is kind of insane. And everything that's coming out with the files, it's also pretty wild. On the other hand, yeah, check this out. Roll this.
CEO of Flock just compared Americans to 5-year-old children who need to be kept in line. And he said the only way to do that is with a, quote, all-seeing eye.
People want to jump to, let's just punish people and that will teach them. But if we look at our kids as a proxy, like the level of punishment, whether you're in timeout for 5 minutes or an hour, doesn't matter to a 5-year-old. They do something because they think they're going to get away with it. And as soon as they find out that as a parent, you have all-seeing eyes, they stop doing bad things. And the punishment has nothing to do with it. And maybe it's unfair to call an adult a 5-year-old, but that's generally how our brain works. We operate on a Boolean equation of like, I get away with this, so I do it. If I don't think I get away with it, I don't do it. And maybe, one is stealing, a gummy from a jar of candy, another one is someone, so quite a big disparity there, but it's the same brain that's making a decision. So I totally agree with Noah, and I think the data is there. And I think maybe where Noah and I disagree a little bit is I have a lot less anxiety on the downsides. I think, of course, there's always downsides in everything. But I think where Noah was going near the end is if your concern at a macro level is a oppressive state arising in America, cameras are not the problem. The problem is that you believe that's going to happen, and there's like 7,000 other ways that could occur.
I mean,
he's behind those Flock cameras. Yep, those Flock cameras that are all over United States of America. It's funny because like a lot of people would, or a lot of people in America would say, and even here in Canada, like people always, generally, like it's worldwide, people would always use China as an example. Yo, don't be China, oh my God, like these people have no liberty. China is a surveillance state. America is right now a surveillance state. There are the hundreds of thousands of Flock cameras already installed. We've done a massive video the other day. Some of you guys have probably seen it. If not, well, you gotta check it out. We've done a massive video on the Flock cameras, and it's coming. It's coming everywhere. Yeah, right now it's in America. It's probably soon gonna be in Canada. We're probably gonna get the equivalent. Maybe they're not gonna call the Flock cameras. They're gonna call it something else. It's gonna be the main thing, or it's gonna be normalized, rather. That's the word that I was looking for.
They're not even hiding it anymore. This is going way beyond mass surveillance. People are even finding these cameras on secluded walking trails. Dang. And no matter what the legacy media says, they just...
And these motherfuckers got those solar panels. Holy shit. They got solar panels along with it, so it never runs out of battery. And even at nighttime, obviously, you got a battery inside, so it's going to charge during the daytime. Yeah, this is... Gang, we cooked. Thank you for subscribing. Appreciate it. Welcome on it. We cooked. This is truly is wild. And we've done like that 1 hour long video covering everything about it, right? And there are people for it. Yep. I shit you not, there are people that for it, and that is perfectly fine though, but, or I mean, not perfectly fine, but I mean, as in everybody got their opinions, so everybody got the right to their opinions, so in that way, it's perfectly fine to have an opinion, but essentially people that are for it, they are saying that I feel more safe when there's a camera filming everything, so crime will go down. On the other hand, other people are saying, yo, it's about my privacy, like I don't want that, and we also have instances where cops have arrested people simply based off of the Flock AI camera videos, which were false positive, right? Like arrested some people, and it turned out that those people the cops arrested were innocent after the fact, but they were put through a lot of trouble because of the false AI videos, right? So just some food for thought, right? And let's actually check this one out. This is also quite insane.
So let me know if anyone's ever been in this area. This is absolutely wild.
A strange discovery on Google Maps has ignited a wave of online speculation, leaving many questioning whether a deeper mystery lurks beneath the surface.
Dang, I remember that.
The viral story, shared by Instagram user Mark Hanala, known by the username You Want Believe Me Official, highlights an unsettling scene. The words help, Traffico, LAPD, and human scrolled across a desolate rail yard in Los Angeles.
Clearly all of the words saying help, but this one to me was the most concerning. Traffico, and that looks like the word human.
Whoa!
That is actually terrifying.
I believe
Hanala's original video.
I believe this one was before the EP files came out. Could be wrong though, but yeah, let's see if we have an update to the story, because I remember this vividly. I remember hearing about it, seeing it, and yeah, this is quite insane. So this one was found on Google Maps.
Video takes viewers through zoomed-in satellite imagery from Google Earth, revealing...
Or Google Earth, rather. Ooh, even worse.
...these eerie words scattered across an area near the San Bernardino freeway.
Even looking at the street view, help is written all over the street.
The markings, some of which seem to reference law enforcement agencies like the LAPD and FBI, immediately raised alarm.
This, I thought, said LAFD, but this is LAPD, clearly. The word federal, help everywhere, and here it looks like the word FBI. Looks like they want something investigated in this area.
With human trafficking concerns rising nationwide, social media users speculated whether these cryptic messages were desperate pleas from someone.
But there's just so many, like, okay, it's one thing, like, if there was one help sign, but there's just so many. So if, let's just say there was, like, actual trafficking that was going on there's just so many signs like that. So wouldn't the traffickers see it and remove it? Or, you know what I mean, right? Like, they would see that and...
trapped in a...
Or maybe they would just, like, move people out from their...
dangerous situation. The discovery gained traction across platforms, prompting questions about what was really happening at this isolated location. The Los Angeles Police Department and Union Pacific Railroad, which owns the property, were quick to dismiss any immediate danger.
Of course.
Photos circulating on Google Maps that show the word help on Union Pacific property were created about a year ago. No one was or is in danger, a spokesperson for Union Pacific said. They clarified that a man named Jose, known to local authorities, had been repeatedly trespassing and writing these messages for years.
A guy named Jose? Yes. He's writing those messages over there? Yes. Why is he doing that?
Why is it always Jose doing that?
No? He needs help himself. So it's just like, is he homeless or? Yeah, I don't know where he's at, but he needs help himself. So you see that big help sign behind you? He wrote that?
No, they just blaming the homie Jose for nothing, bro. Like, maybe the homie Jose was on to something.
LAPD also confirmed that officers had interacted with Jose multiple times, offering both housing and mental health services, both of which he reportedly refused. According to them, there is no evidence of human trafficking. Despite these official explanations.
So they were calling him loco. What if he was not? What if he was being truthful?
Many online remain skeptical. Why would someone go to such extreme lengths to carve large distress signals into debris and pavement? Why include words like human and trafficker? If it's just
LAPD and multiple help sign, and this seems like it says federal help. Yeah, no, I mean, seems like the guy was definitely local, but what if he wasn't? What if he saw something?
It's one man. What exactly does he need help with? Some argue that even if this is the work of a mentally unwell individual, it doesn't completely rule out the possibility that he is aware of something darker happening in the area. Adding fuel to the fire, Hanala expressed interest in visiting the site himself to investigate. Many followers encouraged him to be cautious, fearing that if something truly sinister is happening, he might stumble onto something dangerous.
I kind of want to go check this site out myself. So let me know if anyone's ever been in this area. This is absolutely wild.
Yeah. Nah, insane. Shout out to Mystery Man, check this.
During deer hunting season somewhere in America, a hunter suddenly noticed a strange creature resembling a large monkey.
Yeah, large monkey. Hey, mama, we got the Bigfoot there. Yeah, we got Bigfoot. Large monkey. Oi! Damn, he out there breaking branches. Not good.
The hunter stated that it was the first time we encountered such a being. Experts who examined the video confirmed that it appeared to be authentic. The sighting has left many wildlife enthusiasts and researchers to explore the area, eager to identify the creature. While a man and his child were playing in the woods, he unknowingly captured something unusual on camera.
You like your little car, buddy?
In the background, a tall, dark figure appears. The figure's height and movements are similar to descriptions of Sasquatch. The figure's height and movements are similar to descriptions of Sasquatch, an elusive creature that many locals
It just looks like a shadow just passing through.
claim to have spotted in the area over the years.
And then disappears.
The man and his kid went back inside and haven't felt safe ever since.
It just disappeared. What?
Mark, known online as Livewire, recently shared chilling footage captured by his home CCTV camera.
Honey, I'm home. So far, nothing. That's the dog, right? No? Okay, he runs away. Yeah, looks like Bigfoot is pulling up. Okay, no, that's a dog. Okay, so 2 dogs. Yeah! So that's a shadow of Big... Oh. Alright.
In the video, a bipedal figure is spotted moving in the corner of the frame near his property. Adding to the mystery, Mark's dog barked furiously at the figure, something Mark claims he's never witnessed before. Who or what did his dog see that night?
Yeah, so apparently that's the shadow of Bigfoot, right? That big chungus. Hey, man. Hey, man. Come on,
On
man.
a cloudy day, these hikers spotted something unusual and captured this with a potato camera.
Camouflage,
a large
yeah.
creature trying to blend in with the trees. The hikers managed to record the massive being. After returning from their hike, they shared the video with authorities.
Thank you for subscribing. You guys have been extra generous recently. What the hell? Thank you. Welcome on in. Man, the potato camera videos, they are miles better than today's AI videos, right? Wouldn't you say?
He's requesting an investigation. However, no evidence of the creature was found.
It always is like
During
that.
a recent trip to a remote mountain area, a man filmed something unusual. As he zoomed in between 2 big rocks, he saw this.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah. Oi! Oi! Wakey, wakey! Wake up! Wake up! So that's like Bigfoot chilling? Damn, so we got a homeless Bigfoot. Yo! He woke up. Holy. Yeah. Damn.
A tall and broad figure standing.
Looks like his wife beat him up, so he homeless now, and then he realized, yeah, I gotta rush. Gotta get them groceries the wife asked and get back home.
Out against the rocks. It appears that the creature was lying there until it noticed the people, at which point it quickly vanished. Many think it looks like the legendary creature, while others think it could just be a bear.
December 1980, Suffolk, England. US Air
Rendlesham.
Force personnel at RAF Bentwaters see strange lights descending into Rendlesham Forest. At first, they think it's a downed aircraft, but what they find will become one of the most documented UFO encounters in history. 2 patrolmen drive into the woods. The air crackles with static. Animals are silent. Ahead, beams of red and blue light pulse between the trees. One airman radios back, "It's moving. It's alive." When they reach the clearing, they see it. A small metallic craft hovering just above the ground. Its surface covered in glowing symbols. Sergeant Jim Peniston steps forward and touches it.
Yeah, wrong
In that
moves.
moment, time seems to distort. He later claims it filled his mind with streams of binary code.
And that's going to be interesting, right? Point to be noted. We're going to get back to it because there's an actual massive story with the binary code, and it's kind of linked with the aliens' message from the future. That's what they said, right? But at that time, if the story is true, when he came in contact with that UFO twat all the way back in 1980, he didn't know that. That's the story. It's very, very fascinating. Wait for it.
The object suddenly lifts off without sound, shooting straight up through the trees and vanishing into the night sky. Moments later, radio interference stops. Everything goes still, as if nothing ever happened. When dawn breaks, radiation readings spike where the craft landed. Impressions in the
Classic.
soil form a perfect triangle. Commanders confiscate notebooks and photos. But audio recordings from that night still exist, proof that something extraordinary happened in Rendlesham. Decades later, Penniston and others stand by their story. The US and UK government still classify parts of the case. Whatever landed in Rendlesham Forest wasn't a weather balloon, and it wasn't from this world.
Yeah.
Like, comment, and repost this video.
Yeah, let's actually now get to the bottom of it. Yeah, pucker them cheeks up, because there we go. Shout out to Uncle AJ from the Y-Files. It's been a minute since we got into it, but it's a fascinating one.
Started around 3 a.m. on December 26, 1980. U.S. Airman First Class John Burroughs and Staff Sergeant Bud Steffens were on patrol near the East Gate at the Woodbridge Base. It was a slow night, but soon they felt uneasy. There was static electricity in the air. Suddenly, a light descended from the sky into Rendlesham Forest, landing about half a mile from the end of the base's main runway. And then another light. The lights were flashing, red and blue, green and yellow, on and off. And at first, they thought it must be a downed aircraft, but no one heard a crash. There was no sound of any kind.
Kind of wild, right, that they also have the lights. Appreciate you subscribing, Christy. Welcome on in. But it's kind of wild that they also have the lights. And I don't know if you ever heard this conspiracy or not, but they say that the neon lights that we use were apparently given to us by these aliens. Oh, shit. Yeah, I don't know if you actually heard that or not, but the rabbit hole goes deep. I mean, yeah, I tend to believe the microchips, right, the chips that are in our phones and all that, that's probably right. That they also say that's another conspiracy, that it's the aliens that actually gave us that. I tend to believe that, okay, well, maybe the microchips for real was given to us by these aliens because they are super small, and the way we the way we progressed technologically all the way back from, let's just say, from the 1950s to now. Ooh, insane run, right? We actually had an insane run.
Burroughs and Steffen called in the situation from the guard shack. They didn't want anyone to hear their report on an unsecure radio, just in case the crash needed to be dealt with quietly. Remember, this was the Cold War, and the servicemen weren't sure what they were dealing with yet. Staff Sergeant Jim Penniston was the on-duty flight chief at Woodbridge. He grabbed Airman Edward Cabansag, and they headed to the East Gate to get a clearer picture of the situation. All four men agreed that the lights must have been a downed aircraft. But why didn't it make a sound? Something so close to the twin bases would have alerted plenty of personnel. It would have been impossible to miss. They checked in with both bases. Nobody at Woodbridge or Bentwater saw or heard anything. They called RAF Bawdsey. They called RAF Watton. They even checked in with Heathrow Airport to see if anyone reported a downed aircraft in the area.
But
nothing. But something strange did show up on radar. About 15 minutes before the lights fell into Rendlesham Forest, a radar operator reported a bogey.
The radar saw Humphrey Bogart?
A bogey is an unknown aircraft.
Ah, that makes more sense.
The bogey was lost from radar directly over the base. Then orders came down, go check it out. The four men drove out to the East Gate and down a public road, mostly used for logging and hiking. The road connected to a trail that led deeper inside the forest, toward the crash. But as soon as they hit the trail, their communication equipment started to malfunction.
Not a good idea.
It was like a jammer or something interfering with the frequencies.
Yeah, it always happens, right? So radiation, radar, the navigations tool, they start like malfunctioning and all that. And also, you should not be touching these twats out there too, because you can have, yeah, same thing we heard with the Warhenia case that happened all the way back in 1996. We heard that one soldier passed away because he came in close contact with one of the aliens, and yeah, he caught that some sort of like weird diseases. So we're hearing a lot. I mean, with a lot of these cases that are like decades old, we hear this a lot, but we don't hear about that nowadays.
The radio still worked, but only over very short distances. Anything farther than a few feet was nothing but static. Now, in the distance, they could hear farm animals going crazy. All around them, wild animals sounded like they were screaming like humans.
Actual sound.
And they admitted this terrified them. In all the time they'd lived in and around twin bases, they'd never heard anything like this.
Man.
They kept walking for a few minutes before they came upon a small clearing. And as soon as they stepped out of the trees, an explosion of light hit them. The light was blinding. Even though it was the middle of the night, the area was lit up like the day. They shielded their eyes and finally saw the source of the light. It was coming from a craft.
Wow! WTF question! Okay, I always read that as WTF, but man, what are the odds? So why don't we actually hear like crazy UFO cases like that nowadays? I mean, truth be told though, even if we did hear, everybody would call it AI. I guess the last two big ones gotta be like the Miami Mall 2024 incident, which is debatable. I don't believe that aliens actually showed. There's something happened for sure, but I tend to believe that Las Vegas 2023 backyard incident where the family claimed that, yeah, like they saw the 9 feet tall beings, right? That one seems a lot more believable just because the family, we also had the cops body cam footage as well, the dash cam footage of something falling down from the sky, looked like a meteor, but it was not a meteor, right? And the family testimony and their accounts, and there was a lot that came out afterward as well, and the family seemed genuine too. So I tend to believe that a lot more over the Miami Mall. I mean, something happened for sure at Miami Mall, right? But was it like aliens coming out of those bozos coming out of the portals? That one I'm uncertain about, because yeah, it's just, you know, there were so many people that actually lied as well. They said that they saw them aliens, and then the following days they were busted, and then they even done like those apology videos, like deadass. I remember covering the entire Miami Mall situation, so there were people that lied as well. So it's very, very hard to believe that, right? I mean, it would be cool if, for real, like aliens actually pulled up from the portals. And I know some of you will say that I was there. The aliens actually pulled up from the portals. And if you were there, yo, actually, like deadass, put it in the comments. A massive shout out, by the way, to Kristen, Jock, Chill and Game, and Silverton for becoming brand new members and members again on the channel, as well as the homie Harold, Susan, Glennie, and Hope for the super thanks. Thank you guys so much for all the love on the channel, for being around the channel, for all the blessings, man. Appreciate the love, gang. Appreciate the love. I'm losing my voice. Let's get back to the content here, baby kicks. Let's see, yeah. But WTF? Yeah, let's talk about the alien message from the future.
The triangular-shaped craft made no sound, and when the men took a step toward it, the animal stopped screaming.
Yeah, tell me, Clarice, have the lambs stopped screaming?
You want me to tell the story or not?
Sorry, I couldn't help it. Go on.
The feeling of electricity was now everywhere. Peniston said he could feel it on his skin.
He rubs the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again.
When Peniston got closer, he saw symbols that looked like hieroglyphics engraved on the side. He ran his hand along the exterior of the craft. The metal was smooth and warm to the touch. The symbols, whatever they were, felt like sandpaper. As Peniston drew his hand away, everything went bright white. It took a second for his vision to return, and when it did, he grabbed his notebook and wrote down as many details as possible, including diagrams. After a few minutes, the craft slowly started to lift into the sky, still silent. It took 2 or 3 minutes to clear the tree level. Peniston wrote about the liftoff in his notebook.
I estimated it to be about 3 meters tall and about 3 meters wide at the base. No landing gear was apparent, but it seemed like she was on fixed legs. I moved a little closer. I walked around the craft, and finally, I walked right up to the craft. I noticed the fabric of the shell was more like a smooth, opaque black glass.
Oof. Where the craft had landed, they saw a few indentations in the ground, but not much else. As they made their way back to the others, Peniston made the comment that the experience lasted a few minutes. Burroughs stopped, confused. For him, it was only a few seconds, and that was weird. They finally...
Time dilation! The anti-gravity, the time dilation, the alien language. And it's very important that we... yeah, because the time... the hieroglyphs, he said, right? It looks like hieroglyphs, but it's not hieroglyphs. But the language, that's what they call the alien language. It's something that we also saw on the egg-shaped UFO, right? Jake Barber, News Nation, remember that he claimed to have transported that egg-shaped UFO. We heard about that. And then a couple of days later, we had that massive 4chan leak, and it showed the egg-shaped UFO up and close. Now, it's debatable whether that was real or not, but we obviously had the video from News Nation, and a lot of people memed on it, right? That's the internet, obviously. We can have our jokes, but some people actually didn't want it to believe that, and people also faked it, or they made their own fakes of that egg-shaped UFO where they actually took the real egg and filmed that. So we had that, but that 4chan leak and some of the other images that we've seen of UFOs, yeah, like they have those hieroglyphs looking symbols on the UFOs and the crafts, and it's been alleged that that's the alien language. That's their language. Now, what does it say? What does it mean? Ooh, we don't know about that one. And apparently that was also present, according to these details, all the way back when the chaps, these lovely chaps, saw the UFO back in 1980, though. Crazy.
Finally got to the end of the trail, but everybody was gone. Cabansag, Chandler, and 6 other military personnel were all the way back on the road and in a state of panic. In the commotion, someone radioed Woodbridge to report Burroughs and Peniston were found safe and alive. They could call off the search party.
Search party?
Yeah, Peniston and Burroughs didn't understand. They were just a short walk down the path, and they were out of contact for just a few minutes. But that's not what everyone else experienced. When Burroughs and Peniston disappeared into the forest, they were gone for almost 45 minutes.
Missing time!
Yep. Then Peniston felt dizzy and uneasy on his feet. And though he didn't admit it at the time, this is when the vision started.
And now it's about like the binary code and the alien message from the future, which
Records
was later
show
discovered.
the American military called British authorities on December 26th, an hour after the first sighting. At 4 a.m., local police were called to the location, but the only lights they could see were from the Orford Ness Lighthouse a few miles away.
We have a sighting of some unusual lights in the sky. Have sent some unarmed troops to investigate. We are terming it as a UFO at present.
Around 5 a.m., Deputy Base Commander Lieutenant Colonel Charles I. Halt arrived on the scene. Halt was 41 years old at the time and had served in Vietnam and Korea. He had no time for UFO stories and was annoyed that his men were getting distracted by such nonsense. And believing this was all nonsense, Halt ordered a staff sergeant to add information to the ship's logs using vague terminology. But it didn't matter what was written in the logs. By the early morning, it seemed like everyone knew a UFO had landed nearby during the night. Before daybreak, a group of men went back to the site to take measurements and photographs. The 3 indentations Peniston and Burroughs saw were still there. It was the middle of winter and the ground was frozen solid, so whatever created these indentations must have been incredibly heavy. Once they were done gathering information, the men returned to base and went about their business. Peniston drove home and tried to catch up on sleep, but he couldn't relax. He felt compelled to go back to the landing site, like his entire body was telling him to return. So
brother got that cortisol spiking up. Like, yeah, I mean, these alien bozos, they spiked up his cortisol.
Did. Peniston brought plaster of Paris to take a mold of the indentations of the landing marks. He wanted physical proof of what happened to him, so he can prove to himself that he wasn't crazy. The rest of December 26th was uneventful, as was most of December 27th. But that evening, the base had its annual awards dinner, and most of the officers were in attendance, including Colonel Halt. In the middle of the event, the on-duty shift commander burst through the door. His face was pale and he looked like he was in shock. He made a beeline for Halt and whispered, "Sir, it's back."
Holy! They came back! In no way. But do we know, was it like the gray aliens, or was it like the white aliens, the tall whites, or the Nordics, or what? Do we know?
Assembled a team to investigate. The men gathered handheld cassette recorders, cameras, and even a Geiger counter to measure radiation. Halt was known for carrying a tape recorder wherever he went, and he recorded the investigation in real time.
We're about 150 or 200 yards from the site. Everything else is just deathly calm. There's no doubt about it. There's some type of strange flashing red light ahead. Still.
When they got to the landing site, the 3 indentations in the ground where the craft allegedly landed were throwing off radiation.
7 tenths right there in the center. We found a small blast, what looks like a blasted or scrubbed up area here. We got very positive readings. Let's see, is that here the center? Yes, it is. This is what we assume would be like dead center.
The trees around the site were discolored, and there were odd abrasions on the trunks.
The indentations look like something twisted as it got, as it sat down on them. Looks like someone took something and sat it down and twisted it from side to side. Very strange. Hey, this is eerie. What is the hotspot? This is strange.
Halt ordered samples from the trees to be taken for analysis, but the team had to be careful. The trees were also throwing off radiation.
So yeah, I'm like looking into it, and AI is just and Google is just not giving the clear response. What's your best guess? Was it the gray aliens, the tall whites? Based on the original accounts, the best guess is neither. The primary military witnesses at Rendlesham Forest did not report seeing actual alien creatures of any kind during the nights of the incident. A metallic object, Sergeant Peniston, and yeah, we know about that, and flashing lights. So yeah, it does not want to say. Main theories, extraterrestrial wizard believe in some mundane explanation. Skeptics and investigators suggest the lights were simply the flashing beam of the nearby, yeah, it's from the lighthouse. Okay, so that's like the counter argument. It was just it's just the lighthouse lights. It's not them UFOs. It's just a lighthouse. That's crazy that the military personnel were like, nah, you loco, you crazy. It's just the lighthouse lights, gang.
And viewing the scene through thermal imaging showed that the trees and landing area were warmer than the rest of the environment.
We are getting an indication of a heat source coming out of that center spot.
And just before 2 a.m., something spooked the animals of Rendlesham Forest again.
We're hearing very strange sounds out of the farmers' barnyard animals. They're very, very active, making an awful lot of noise. I just saw a light where? Wait, I gotta slow down. Where? There it is. Oh, yeah, I see it too. What is it? We don't know, sir.
This time it was a ball? Yeah, if the animals are acting up like that, yeah, no, something definitely happened. I don't think the animals would be acting up because they saw lighthouse lights. Come on now, right? Like that... Maybe it was just a flying cow that they saw, and the animals were like, oh, wow, we've never seen that before. Okay, you can say that, but lighthouse lights, they see that every day, all night, every night, right? So that's probably normal to them. They ain't gonna freak out over lighthouse lights.
A small red light appeared between the trees, and the animals fell silent, and it was deathly calm. The red light hovered over the clearing. It started to move through the trees, so Halt and a few others followed it.
Weird. It appears to be maybe moving a little bit this way. It's spreading that fast, Dad. Yeah. It's coming this way. It is definitely coming this way. It should be shooting off. There is no doubt about it. This is weird.
Now, two
Is that even, like, real footage from 1980s?
It is definitely coming this way. It should be shooting off. There is no doubt about it. This is weird.
Mom!
Now, two lights appeared, both shooting off yellow sparks, and they moved back and forth like a blinking eye.
We're seeing strange lights in the sky. 305. We see strange strobe-like flashes to the...
Yeah, okay, so the audio is real, that's what we know, but the video here, I think that's a depiction, right? So AI or CGI just renders just for us to be able to understand it. I don't think this is like legit. But that video felt legit though, just this one, right, that we saw. Ooh.
Very sporadic, but there's definitely something
And then things got intense. You can hear Halt crying out on the tape that a beam of light just struck the ground 10 feet in front of his team.
Here he comes from the south. He's coming toward us now. Now we're observing what appears to be a beam coming down to the ground. This is unreal.
That's how Mystery Box would spawn in Call of Duty.
The light was described like a laser.
Yeah.
It wasn't damaging anything, but the men got the impression that it was scanning for something. Now, we still don't know if there were nuclear weapons stored at the twin bases, but this would only be one of many UFO encounters at a nuclear facility. Local police were also busy responding to reports of strange lights all over the county. But as quickly as they showed up, the Rendlesham UFOs were gone. The witnesses had no answers. They were left with only questions. But they were left with more than that.
Yeah, WTF.
I was very skeptical. I found what had allegedly taken place hard to believe, and I was really going to debunk it, quite frankly. And as events unfolded, I became more and more concerned that there may be something to this. I kept telling myself that there had to be some type of an explanation for it, but I certainly couldn't find one, and even to this day, I can't explain what happened.
Is that video real? I know I'm asking because the audio, we know it's legit, but AI has gotten so good that it can actually make old videos, or it can make fake videos, old-looking videos appear real. but one thing is for certain, something happened that night, right? And this is one of the craziest cases of all time. Why don't shit like that ever happens now? I guess, yeah, like the Las Vegas, right, backyard happened, Miami Mall happened, the New Jersey drone situation was pretty freaky too. I guess we can say those were freaky stuff, but this is clearly like a massive story that happened, and you gotta understand that back then, Facebook didn't exist, okay, YouTube didn't exist, TikTok didn't exist, the concept of people faking shit on the internet just for attention and points, internet points did not exist. So people were not necessarily, I feel like people lie now a lot more than they used to lie. Obviously people lied even back then, but like, you know, for a case like that, for a situation like that, it's so hard to believe that somebody would lie.
Do this, I kept
from a military background, especially a military personnel.
telling myself that there had to be some type of an explanation for it, but I certainly couldn't find one, and even to this day, I can't explain what happened.
So what happened? What happened? Ooh, what happened?
In the months after the incident, Burroughs, Peniston, and others started experiencing health problems. Burroughs' eyes were deteriorating. He had throat issues. He developed a heart condition. Years later, a specialist told Burroughs that his symptoms are usually found in people exposed to high levels of radiation. Now, Burroughs remembered the high radiation readings in Rendlesham Forest. He requested his medical records from the Air Force, but the request was refused. And this was years after he retired from service. And at one point, the military wouldn't even admit that Burroughs had served. All information on him was considered top secret. Doctors later identified the cause of Burroughs' injuries as broad...
That is messed up, though. That is, I don't care, like, that's messed up. So he probably risked his life, served for his country, and at the end, they're like, oh, we don't know. Like, it looks like that he never served. That's pathetic, bro. That's, honest to God, like, disgrace. That's shameful, bro. Honestly, man.
Considered top secret. Doctors later identified the cause of Burroughs' injuries as broadband non-ionizing electromagnetic radiation. Now, this could occur if you're exposed to ultraviolet, infrared, or high-powered microwave.
Yeah, in simple English, the alien disease, sucker. That's what we talk about. The alien disease.
Energy. The military now had no choice but to acknowledge the situation. The US government finally admitted that these servicemen suffered serious health problems, and a few of them were even granted medical disability. But many of Burroughs' medical records are still classified to this day. Sergeant Jim Pennison also experienced after effects from the UFO encounter. Now, he was never the same after that flash of white light he saw while touching the craft. And that night, when he was going over his notes and diagrams, he started to feel sick.
I remember this face, yo! Oh shit! I remember this face, dang! Okay, yeah, that's Sergeant James Peniston. Yeah, no, I'm familiar with the story, but not, like, I don't know all the nitty gritty stuff, right? This is why we're, like, doing this. But, this face is very familiar, bro. It's just that, I didn't recognize when he was young, right? I recognize, this face, but I didn't recognize when he was young, if that makes sense, though, yeah.
And that night, when he was going over his notes and diagrams, he started to feel sick. And then he had visions of ones and zeros. He had no idea what they meant or what was happening to him. But the numbers were so vivid, he started writing them down. And the more he wrote, the better he felt. Then finally, the vision stopped. Jim put his notebook away and didn't think about it again for another 30 years. He had completely forgotten about writing down all those ones and zeros, but in 2010, he pulled out his notebook for an interview. He wanted to show the symbols that he saw on the craft. As he was thumbing through the notebook, he came across the pages with the numbers. The interviewer said, "Wait, what's that?" And Jim Peniston was nonchalant about it. He said, "Oh, that was information downloaded to me from the UFO." Jim was asked if it was binary code, but he didn't know what that was.
Yeah.
So they sent the numbers to a computer expert to see if there was anything to it. Now, they didn't tell the computer guy anything. They just said, here are a bunch of numbers, tell us what you think.
Crazy if true. So he was sitting on them numbers. What are the numbers, Mason? The numbers, Mason, the numbers, if you played Black Ops. Yeah, and he was sitting on that, and he didn't know what a binary code was, right? Which is, I mean, yeah, not everybody knows what everything is, right? Like, duh, but he didn't know, and then the interviewer is like, yo, what, yo, did you, like, what? Like, binary code? Did you know about it? Like, did you, what? And then, how many years later that was? Insane. And then comes to find out that it's coordinations.
The tech couldn't believe it. It was a message from the future.
Yeah. Man! Come take a look at
For 30 years, Jim Penniston had a binary message transmitted to his brain from a UFO, and he didn't know it. This is what it said.
Exploration of humanity continuous. Continuous for planetary advance. Eyes of our eyes. Origin year, 8100.
And if that doesn't blow your mind, how about...
Oh, I think I got mixed up with the coordinates from a different story. So no, this is not about like the coordinates. This is like deadass, like the message from the future. 8100. Say psych, bro. I'm just trying to get through like 2026, bro. Like I'm just trying to get through this AI data center era right now. The flock cameras and all that. The high taxes seasons and all that. I'm just trying to get through the bad economy. These sickos were talking about 8100. Nah, bro.
But this. The rest of the message is a list of coordinates for locations.
Okay. I think I didn't get mixed up. It really is the coordinates as well, or both.
All over the planet. Caracol, Brazil. Sedona, Arizona. The Great Pyramid of Giza. The Nazca Lines in Peru. Mount Taishan in China. The Temple of Apollo in Greece. And this final location is labeled the Origin.
Wait, what? In the middle of the ocean?
Yes, but this location might not have always been ocean. There is a mythical island called High Brazil that was allegedly here at one time. High Brazil is a phantom island, which is an island that appears on maps for a period of time but is later found to not exist. Now, High Brazil appeared on maps for hundreds of years, including the famous Piri Reis map, which was based on much older maps.
Man.
Researchers and archaeologists have searched extensively for the island, and there is evidence that islands once existed there. Shallow water shelves have been found at Porcupine Bank, northwest of Ireland, and similar shelves were discovered at Rockhall further north. All of the locations in the binary code are known as highly spiritual places.
Exactly, like the pyramids, these what would you call it? I wouldn't call them crop circles, but like these symbols. I don't believe like the pyramids were made by humans at that time, and they were like actually carrying those 2 tons, 80 tons blocks on their heads like ants and building the pyramid. I don't buy that story, but it could be humans that might have made it, but I personally don't buy into that. So all these coordinates are linked to all these different very like mysterious places that we don't necessarily have all the answers to. And so it's quite baffling. Now, could it be that the officer made it up? Like he looked up, like Googled the coordinates and years later and started like dropping them he got the binary code and wrote it down, and during like an interview be like, look at this, this is what the aliens told me, 01100. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is what they told me. Please tell me that's a binary code. Aha, exactly. Oh shit, I didn't know binary code. Maybe let's actually send it for testing, and they send it in, and comes to find out it's a message and all these different coordinates, and it matches up. Why would somebody go to that length to fake it? Don't make sense to me though. But I'm interested in like the debunk part, because Uncle AJ, he always gets into the debunking, and I'm kind of hoping that there isn't too big of debunking on this one. Kind of want the story to be legit, not gonna lie.
But they've also been called portals to other dimensions, or to other planes of reality. Because of this, Jim Penniston doesn't think the Rendlesham UFO was extraterrestrial. He thinks it was us. He thinks this was a message from humans from 6,000 years in the future. And that's becoming a more common theory regarding the recent UFO activity. Right. And I've noticed that NASA is being very cute about their explanations. They said just this week that there's no evidence that any UAPs are extraterrestrial in origin, but they still don't know what they are. To me, that sounds like NASA thinks it's possible that the UAPs are not from another planet, but from this planet.
Dang.
Now maybe
Now, this video context, this video is 2 years old, and right now we're getting the UFO batch files coming out too. So, so far we're down to 4 batches, and in the batch number 1, we saw the moon UFOs, right? Whether we're not talking about the moon landing real or fake this time around. I know a lot of you believe it's fake, a lot of you believe it's legit. We're not debating that, but you know, that's something that they revealed in the first batch back in February of 2026. Insane. So yeah, they're talking about it, plus MES Skridge accounts of P47, P52s. Essentially, she was saying that it's the gray aliens that are 47,000 years in the future. P47. P52 is gray aliens, 52,000 years in the future, and essentially it's us from the future. Oh shit! Oh shit! I don't buy into this idea that the gray aliens are us from the future. It can be. Listen, it can be, but I personally don't believe in that. I need more evidence in that. I do tend to believe that gray aliens are probably legit, but are they like really us from the future? That I don't buy into that. And also another thing that is flying a lot, or this is the hot topic of discussion, you probably can picture the gray alien face right now in your mind, right? And you've seen those eyes, those big black eyes. The current topic of discussion is also that what if those black eyes are not eyes, but those are like, you know, just like how we have sunglasses, right? We wear sunglasses to protect our eyes from the sun. It's basically that. There, underneath it, you see the eyes being very much like human, like us. So that is another topic of discussion, and this was UFO was captured live on the news during the news. Insane. Yeah, no, very fascinating, very fascinating. I love this topic, though.
An ancient race of humanoids have existed here for thousands or millions of years, and now they're making themselves known. Or maybe, like Jim Peniston believes, we're being visited by our future selves.
I don't know.
The big question is, why? Why now? It feels like they're trying to warn us of something. And because UFOs seem to be very interested in what we're doing to the planet, and extremely interested in what we're doing with nuclear technology, the warning is pretty serious. So let's hope these UFOs really are from outer space, because then they're warning us of a disaster that could happen. If the warnings are from us in the future, then whatever disaster they're afraid of, it's already happened. And considering what's going on in the world right now, I don't think there's any way to stop it.
Yeah, I guess we about to get into the debunking aspect, but yeah, exactly. So it's the topic of discussion is that underneath this is just the glass, let's just say, the sunglass, let's just say. Underneath it, it's the real eye, which is small, like a human eye. Because when you look at it this way, right, that's a massive eye, like a big black eye. It's a big black eye. It's massive. So yeah, that's also a hot topic of discussion.
Physical evidence, audio recordings, countless high-ranking U.S. military witnesses. The Rendlesham Forest UFO incident has it all. But is any of it true?
Please.
Well, the answer, like in many UFO cases, is it's complicated. So let's start with the big picture. Are there official records of an unknown object in Rendlesham Forest on December 26th and December 28th, 1980? Yes.
Thank God.
Is there evidence from the original investigation corroborating the UFO story? Yes. But there are issues. There's a discrepancy over the date of the first sighting. All of the official witness statements say the lights first appeared on December 26th, except one. Peniston's statement is undated, and both he and Halt wrote independently the date of the first sighting was actually December 27th, the following night. Halt didn't even file an official statement with the military. He wrote a memo on January 13th, 1981, after taking statements from Peniston, Burroughs, Cabansag, Chandler, and others. But some of the witnesses said their statements were rewritten and they were forced to sign. In Burroughs' witness statement, he said the light came from the nearby lighthouse, and that's that. Cabansag's statement says the same thing. The Orfordness Lighthouse is visible from the landing site on the eastern edge of Rendlesham Forest, the exact direction the men saw the lights. The blue and red lights? Well, Burroughs said it was probably just local police checking out the scene. Peniston is the only witness who claimed to encounter the craft. He said he got within 50 meters of it, but it flew back every time he got closer.
I guess the others were paid off. I guess we're gonna rely on that one.
And later that story changed. Peniston is the only one who reported missing time, and he didn't report this until years later, and only after he went through regression hypnosis in 1994.
You said hypnosis with a little bit of stank on it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if regression hypnosis is finding lost memories or creating new ones.
Whoa!
It's all right, sweetheart. What is it?
Oh, there's like 20 of them.
It was during hypnosis where the
real?
details about touching the craft and the symbols got added to the story. Peniston and Burroughs both have changed their stories a lot over the years.
There was a very strange feeling in the air.
Colonel Halt is always portrayed as this by-the-book, hard-nosed military commander, but there are questions about him too. Halt is quoted as saying, during the briefing, witnesses to the Rendlesham UFO incident were subjected to mind control efforts using drugs and hypnosis by the British and American authorities. Now, no one else makes this claim, and it wasn't mentioned until years later.
Stranger Things, the Montauk Project, three-letter agency, the mind control and all that. Yeah, I mean, we do know that they ran those projects. Obviously they did, and they probably still are running those projects.
A lot of data Halt said existed no longer does.
Cover up.
Well, a lot of people say that, and it could be. But Halt's famous audio recordings are in his possession, and he says he's got the whole night, 4 or 5 hours on tape, but he's only released 18 minutes of audio, and those 18 minutes are edited. He refuses to release anything else.
That's not
now,
good.
Peniston's notebook is also a problem. Other witnesses say there's no way he could have written anything down. He wasn't at the site long enough. The notes also don't line up with the other witness statements. Even the date is wrong. Now, there are plenty of details in witness statements that do line up, but a lot of those can be explained. Halt said the reddish-yellow light he saw through the trees would appear every 5 seconds. Now, we can hear this on the tape, but the light from the lighthouse was visible through the trees, and it was set for a 5-second rotation. Kabatsag also mentioned this pulsing light, but the light he saw was confirmed to be the lighthouse. Whenever the Rendlesham story comes up, we only hear from the witnesses who confirm the story as true. Rarely do we hear from the many witnesses who claim there were no UFOs, but those witnesses do exist, and they too have given sworn statements.
There was absolutely nothing in the woods. We could see lights in the distance, and it appeared unusual as it was a sweeping light. Contrary to what some people assert, at the time almost none of us knew there was a lighthouse at Orfordness. Remember, the vast majority of folks involved were young people, 19, 20, 25 years old. That's
so you're trying to say young and dumb? Like we were young, we were dumb.
one reason the lights appeared interesting or out of the ordinary to some people.
Government shill.
Maybe. The marks in the trees were confirmed to be hatchet marks, indicating to foresters which trees to cut down. The high levels of radiation actually weren't high at all. Even the highest readings were within the normal range for background radiation.
Bro, come on, man. Come on, man. I hate this part. But no, honestly, you definitely need the debunking, right? Yeah, you need both arguments, both sides. Ultimately, though, we want, obviously, it's fascinating, right? I want the story to be legit. But if it's not, then you gotta tell it how it is, right? And we can still rely on the story. Yeah, it's fascinating, but probably not legit. But dang it, man, like at least one of them gotta be legit though.
The indentations in the ground weren't all that deep. Locals say they were made by animals.
Nah, they look kind of deep. You can't even tell from this photo, right? I guess we can see like these are the points, I guess. This is another one, hard to say. So I'm trying to form a triangle here.
Now, speaking of animals, the screaming in the forest is a creepy detail of the story. But it was probably a deer.
Oi, deers scream?
Muntjac deer do.
Oh, I don't like that deer at all.
Yeah, on a dark, cold night in December, when you think you're chasing a UFO, hearing that sound from the woods would be terrifying.
Right.
But these deer live in Rendlesham Forest. The locals heard them all the time. But we don't have these in the US. And remember, even though this event happened in England, all the witnesses were American. In 2018, former members of the SAS, British Special Forces, said the whole thing was a prank. In 1980...
Yo, no, I wasn't even anticipating. I wasn't even anticipating them calling this a prank. It's just a prank, bro. All the way back in the 80s? You're saying it's just a prank? Please say psych, bro. Come on, man.
The SAS, British Special Forces, said the whole thing was a prank. In 1980, SAS had tested the security of the base by parachuting in. They got caught. Remember, this was potentially a nuclear base.
This was the hot rod.
Have you guys seen that Alan Richson War Machine movie? Actually, great movie. I watched it like almost a week ago at this point. Great movie, and obviously not gonna spoil anything, but yeah, it's also on kind of like it's filmed around like a military base in United States of America, and then a UFO lands, but they didn't know it's a UFO, so they try to like destroy it, detonate a bomb near it, and then the UFO wakes up and start laser beaming the crap out of them. So it's kinda, I feel like that movie gotta be inspired off of like this Rendlesham UFO encounter.
Here,
got to be, right?
Where weapons were stored in the ATF fire team facility down there.
So the British paratroopers were roughed up and interrogated for 18 hours to make sure this wasn't a Soviet ruse. The British soldiers didn't report the incident, which is not surprising. Competition between military allies is always fierce, but you don't rat on fellow soldiers. But the SAS got their revenge. They said they staged the whole incident and it got out of hand. Now this seems like a good explanation, but I still can't find any actual names. There are a lot of anonymous sources.
But the British couldn't beam computer code into this guy's brain.
Peniston, right. There are lots of problems with that notebook and the whole binary code story. He said he forgot about the code and only remembered it in 2010 during a documentary shoot. But you can see him flipping through the notebook on TV as early as 2003. Now, I guess he only flipped halfway through the notebook and then was like, yeah, I'm good. Now, suddenly in 2010, during another presumably paid TV gig, now there's binary code. And it's code that translates into English. And I always have a problem with aliens sending code in English. It seems too specific and unlikely. I prefer when they communicate with math, like in the movie Contact.
Okay, 101. The pulse sequence through every prime number between 2 and 101.
And telepathic communication, that's understandable. Telepathic communication, not understandable, but okay, I'll believe that. But yeah, exactly, right? Like, I don't think they're gonna pull up and speak English, right? Like, unless they crazy advanced, which we always hear about. They really advance, and they can pick up our language just like that. They can learn any language, and if that's the case, then damn, like sheesh. But highly doubt that though.
But some people say they speak English because they know that's what we understand. Fine, I guess. But the binary code was ASCII encoded. ASCII is an American standard for encoding text. It existed in 1980, but it wasn't commonly used. Plus, the ASCII character set has gone through multiple changes over the years. When this code was downloaded into Peniston's brain, the standard was 7 bits, but the message was encoded using 8 bits, which was the standard, but years later.
But future people would know all this.
That's true, they would. But the people who translated the code, they took some liberties.
Yeah, man. Yeah, like, dang it, bro. Okay, so I guess we're calling this story cap then, huh? We're calling it cap. Like the kids would say, lies, fake, bull squash, okay.
They said it was this. But it actually translates to this. Fragments of words, no coordinates.
Oh, but maybe the future people know this too, and soon we'll be able to see the real message.
Nah, it's just time to give up, homie. Like the story, Uncle capped, I guess, right? Uncle lied by the looks of it.
Even more bits, whatever. Hey, I'm trying. Work with me here.
And remember how Peniston sees a flash of light, goes into a little bit of a trance, and then has this binary code suddenly in his head?
Yeah?
Well, that's the exact plot from an X-Files episode.
Oh, no.
The episode is called Conduit and aired in 1993, many years before Peniston said anything about binary code.
Oh, I'm really annoyed right now.
Yeah.
Bro, you ruined it, bro. You're telling me Uncle Peniston kept? No, man. Yeah, okay, so this got a lot more holes than any other story, right? Even the Greada Treaty didn't have this many holes. Yeah, right. Like obviously, like every conspiracy, I feel like has some holes, and you know there will always be holes on the holes, but there will always be, right? There will always be the opposite arguments, and that's good. That's good. But this is like completely debunking the whole thing, though. So. Yeah, this got more holes, man. This got a lot more twist than a plate full of spaghetti, and it's not good.
Yeah, there are a lot of problems with the Rendlesham story. Now, when you consider how many people were involved in the incident, it was always going to be impossible to know the truth. Everyone has their own version of events, whether we like it or not, that's human nature. Those who are pro-UFO use the many high-ranking military eyewitnesses as proof, and ignore all the conflicting evidence. Any evidence that's missing, well, it's a cover-up. And those who are anti-UFO just see the data attempting to debunk the incident, and they consider nothing else valid.
Yeah, it never is objective, though. It always is like, okay, so, well, if it works with what I believe, then I'll go with that, right? If I believe in UFOs, if I believe in aliens, then yes, 100% true. But if I don't, then 100% fake, which... yeah, right, it's not helping anything, though. Personally, obviously, like, I believe that we're not alone, though. But at the end of the day, though, yeah, right, like, I want to know if a story is legit or false. Absolutely. I'll watch it for entertainment, of course. But at the end of the day, though, don't say, like, it's legit when it's not. Yeah, this topic is very fun, fascinating. Two of the biggest questions: what happens after we die, and are we alone in the universe or not? And are we ever gonna find out the answers to any of it? I tend to believe we're not alone, right? I guess that, plus like the government's now also coming out with the UFO files, which is ruining some people's trust. I understand, I get it. You cannot trust the government, so people, I see these comments all the time from you guys, and I'm sure you also hear this a lot. And see this a lot elsewhere too, where people are like, well, I used to believe in the UFOs, but ever since the government started coming out and talking about it, then I don't know if I believe it anymore. So you got that perspective. I get it. But still, though, like, what happens after we die? Are we alone in the universe or not?
The truth is probably somewhere in the middle. And there is another possibility that the Rendlesham UFO incident could have been part of a counterintelligence operation.
Ooh.
Government disinformation is one of the most frustrating parts of UFO research. Counterintelligence officer.
And there's also like Richard Doty, right? Richard Doty, who openly claims that he, during those times, he used to plant fake information whenever there would be like real substantial UFO news. He would come out and plant fake information. And later on, he said that. He openly talked about it. It's not like a he said, she said rumors or anything. He openly confirmed that he did that by himself. And then people were like, oh, okay, so you're admitting that you lied back then. So, how do I believe you are not lying now? Yeah, absolutely. Like, an important question for sure, understandable. And yeah, so basically he said that he used to lie about aliens, UFOs not being legit, but then later on he admitted that he used to plant fake information. And he also said that, well, aliens are real, UFOs are legit. Now, believe me. So, you know what I mean, right? Like, it's hard to believe.
There's like former Air Force OSI agent Richard Doty.
There we go. Bingo. Yeah, that's who I was talking about. I have not seen this video, so yeah. But basically one of the biggest names in the UFO community.
Insert themselves into events like the one in Rendlesham Forest. OSI agent Richard Doty insert themselves into events like the one in Rendlesham Forest. Then they spread just enough chaos, rumors, and crazy to confuse the situation. And Doty openly admits it was his job to lead the public away from the truth, to discredit the reputations of those involved, and ensure that even true information is met with skepticism. In the early 1980s, the Air Force was ramping up UFO disinformation campaigns, and Doty was a big part of that. Whistleblower David Grush has suddenly appeared now that UFOs are mainstream news. But remember, he also worked in the Air Force as a counterintelligence officer, and everything he says publicly is approved by the Pentagon first. And because of how successful counterintelligence operations are at covering up real events, we'll likely never know the full truth about the Rendlesham UFO incident. But
But David Grush seems legit, man. You know, he seems legit, bro. Like, he said a lot about maybe that's just cope, bro. That's just cope. But seriously, on a real though, he seems legit. But again, though, we don't want. It feels like, I think, I believe, it seems he for real. We want the actual data and evidence. And so far, he has not provided evidence. It's just words and it's just testimonies, which is cool and all to start the conversation off with, but then you need to provide data and images, videos, evidence, which he claimed that he will. I remember, like, he said that we'll provide it in a skiff, but I'm afraid I cannot show that publicly in a public setting. He said, I'm paraphrasing him, he said something like that a while back, right? Yeah.
But that doesn't mean we shouldn't stop looking. And when military intelligence whistleblowers show up, I'm skeptical, but I also want to hear them out. Because contrary to what the military thinks, they're not smarter than we are. Their house of cards is built with lies. And it only takes one piece of evidence, one witness, or one mistake, and the whole thing comes crashing down. And me? I can't wait.
Yeah, very hopeful right there. WTF! Shout out to Uncle AJ from the White House, though. It's been a minute. Yeah, check out this video on the screen. We done this one not long ago. It's a case of a UFO actually landing on a person, also going near it, radiation, I mean, getting the similar symptoms, and this one a lot more believable and very mysterious and very interesting. Check out this video on the screen and I'll see you right there.